Welcome to The Code. Construction, design, and engineering. This is India's #1 construction podcast.
So, Vardha और चिराग, पहली बात तो I'm extremely excited to talk to you guys, and I'll tell you why. मेरे पास एक तो लोग रिस्क नहीं लेते, स्पेशली जो कपल्स होते हैं, and who are also partners in the business. They never risked to come to me recording करने के लिए साथ. So thank you very much for being that daring. Usually it's a lot of fun for me because I'm really mischievous and I ask questions जिसमें हो सकता है घर जाके आपके आर्गुमेंट हो जाए, और मैं आपको पहले फेयर वार्निंग दे रहा हूँ.
वो हमारे वैसे भी होते हैं.
दोनों का एक साथ आ रहा है. Amazing. So you बताओ कि when you both design together, who usually gets the last word?
Being the vice.
I think it's here as
मेरी गलत चलती है. Like in design, it's my final call. But while bringing things to life, it's his forte. So I let him decide whatever.
you guys have divided the roles.
Kind of. Like I take care of the design part and team management and everything, and he takes care of material selections, procurement, and bringing things to life on site.
Is that by choice or is that by like a lot of arguments?
Lot of arguments. You can take. Initially, we had a lot of arguments, and then we decided कि ठीक है.
Initially, we used to divide sides.
Yeah.
तू इतनी कर मैं ये वाली कर लूँ.
But then we realized कि हम दोनों का अपना अपना फोटे and we enjoy. Like he cannot sit idle. मतलब इसको अगर फोन नहीं आ रहा ना, on Sundays भी अगर हमारी लीव होती है, इसको फोन नहीं आ रहा ना, फोन कॉल नहीं आ रहा, he's like फोन नहीं बज रहा, मैं क्या? He's a very hyperactive person. So he's like मेरा फोन नहीं बज. And in fact, recently his phone was lost. So 2 days तक his number was not working and he was crazy about it. My number is not working. What would the client be thinking? मैंने बोला कुछ नहीं होगा. Then call me, just chill. कुछ नहीं होता. So he's very hyperactive and he enjoys talking to people. Like I am a very introvert person. So I like to, design on my own, in my own mental peace, my space. I need my space. So if the phone keeps on buzzing continuously, that irritates me a lot. So I say, ठीक है, मैं बनाती हूँ. तू explain कर client को, तू pitch कर, तेरा वो फोटे है, and then you make things happen.
Yeah.
तो बट मुझे मजा आता है. मतलब जैसे sometimes I'm in office. Usually मैं बाहर रहता हूँ तो कभी ये लोग मुझे बोल देते हैं कि अच्छा सर आप बताओ कि ये डिजाइन बेटर है, ये डिजाइन बेटर है, या फिर फाइनल डिजाइन लेके आते हैं कि अब सब कुछ फाइनल हो चुका है, इसमें चेंजेस बतानी है, एवरीथिंग इज डन. आई लाइक यार ये तो अच्छा नहीं लग रहा.
And then I'm pretty crazy कि तू पहले बोला कर, like say it in the first revision stage.
Oh God.
मुझे बहुत मजा आता है.
I think it's great freedom you have also.
No, I personally feel that he does it to irritate me.
Why not? Why not?
मुझे genuinely बहुत मजा आता है.
And then our team is laughing like anything.
Very good. No bigger enjoyment than laughing at the misery of the other person, especially one who's
क्या
looking.
होता है
I think it's great.
It's great.
we have a space जहाँ पे no one can see. बेसिकली वो इसका स्पेस है कि कोई देख नहीं सकता क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग भी आते हैं. तो बस वहां से ना आवाज आ रही होती है क्योंकि उस मोमेंट के बाद क्या होता है, हम उनकी लड़ाई हो रही होती है. हम ट्राई करते हैं कि हम थोड़ा धीरे बात करें, धीरे से लड़ाई करें, बट वो नहीं हो पाता. तो पीछे
So I will say you're better off at sides only. Don't come to office.
भाई तो बाहर है. Awesome. So ये तो सब में आ गया कि किसकी चलती है, but I think it's a good thing that you've done because usually लोग क्या करते हैं, वही करते हैं, ये साइड तेरी साइड, फिर उसमें वो फिर एक्चुअली ओवरलैप होता ही नहीं है, फिर आप मिलते ही नहीं हो, फिर आपकी कम्युनिकेशन ही नहीं होती है. I have seen people like genuinely just like being in their own worlds,
And then I feel like that's like, you have two separate firms.
Yeah.
So it's like when we design, we have more of an opinion that कि जब कोई चीज बनकर रेडी होकर आ रही है ना, तो it's like a combined effort that we have put into the entire space. So we both enjoy the handover stage.
Discussion we used to like sit with our team. They ask, sir, is it possible?
Right.
Can we make this design? We'll be able to like procure these things. So उसका discussion भी होता है. We talk.
Any decent design argument that you guys had? And who won?
And we have a lot of design arguments. If we specifically say we have a lot of arguments. उसमें कोई वो नहीं है like by designing the space जिसे client brief आया. So usually मेरा जो opinion रहता है कि जैसे जो client होता है ना, अगर उसका suppose करो 200 square yards का जगह है, so he expects a lot out of it कि आप इसमें 4 rooms निकाल दो, आप इसमें kitchen निकाल दो. तो usually क्या होता है, since he talks to the client, so he takes the initial brief. So I am like the one who's designing. So I pushes him to the fact कि यार उसको बोल अपनी requirement कम करेगा. जो ये मांग रहा है ना वो possible नहीं है इस चीज के अंदर. So अभी भी had a recent inquiry. So in that the client had a 200 square yard of space. So he said that I want a 4 BHK and इतना जगह चाहिए, and I want very luxurious spaces. I want walk-in wardrobe also and this also that. So I said talk to the client. कह रहा नहीं यार वो बोल रहा है उसको कर देना पड़ेगा. मैंने कहा मैं नहीं दे सकती. I cannot make that. happen. So he said कि नहीं नहीं फिर finally इससे बात करी फिर भी like he kind of convinced them कि ठीक है we'll present you both the layout and then you take your final call.
So eventually हुआ क्या client माना?
वो कह रहे कि ठीक है अभी आप अभी टेरिशियल से तो he said कि
कैसे
आप निकालो आप options दो and then we'll decide what.
I think 200 गज तो यार 3 bedroom से ज्यादा क्या है? Like, how do you-
हो जाएगा but the space
Even
would be a
3
very
is sometimes in
appealing.
my opinion too much.
हाँ
3 bedroom भी ज्यादा रहता है मुझे 200 गज में क्योंकि you end up squishing the spaces and
हाँ so that's something you don't enjoy as a space.
right. अगर आप लोगों के and I want the individual answer कि अगर आपका personal home style if it was a Bollywood client who would they be?
I think for me I would be Deepika Padukone. Because you know she has a very kind of elegance and a very poise in her whole personality and she's kind of introverted also. So I say my personal style would resonate with her.
What about you?
मेरा थोड़ा डिफरेंट है अगर आई एम डिजाइनिंग फॉर लाइक क्लाइंट्स तो मेरा बहुत ज्यादा टेस्ट रहता है मिनिमल आई लाइक वेरी मिनिमल
That's your personal style as well.
Yeah. We usually design it minimal design. We are not into gold and everything. बट जब मुझे एक वो घर की बात आती है ना तो एवरी टाइम इज लाइक रणवीर सिंह जेन्युइनली थोड़ा सा weird है बट यस
Weird नहीं है. I think it's pretty cool. And in a way, you guys complimented the couples in the.
हाँ वो भी हुआ बट
Right.
ऐसा नहीं था बट मेरा तो बहुत ज्यादा है कि मुझे ऐसा कुछ डिजाइन
Very interesting. From one of the blogs that I read that you guys have posted, you guys often say that design should not be seen, it should be felt. What does that mean in everyday terms, anyone?
So I think for me, when I say this, I mean like when like since we are architects and interior designers हो, so हमारे पास कभी कोई इंक्वायरी आती है ना people से आप just interior designing कर दो, तो I say कि हम वो कर देंगे, but वो ना एक aesthetical space होगा. So while designing layouts, we do see to the fact कि जब हम design कर रहे हैं ना, तो वो यूजेबिलिटी को डिफाइन करना चाहिए लाइक देयर शुड बी प्रॉपर नेचुरल लाइटिंग इन द हाउस अगर आप एक रूम में जा रहे हो तो शुड फील स्पेशियस ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ आपने एस्थेटिकली यू पुट अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स ऑन वॉल आपने अच्छा महंगा फर्नीचर ले लिया बट व्हेन यू एंटर टू द स्पेस ना इट्स नॉट फीलिंग वेरी कोजी इट्स यू नो नॉट गिविंग दैट होम वाइब तो आई फील कि आप जब डिजाइन कर रहे हो ना तो इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर लेआउटिंग ऑल्सो probably per se it's a restoration project also in those terms also we break the walls and we design space that should look spacious when you're sitting in it you should not feel very claustrophobic like things are onto your face so that is what we mean like it should be more felt than seen.
And you have the two one?
I completely agree. Same. We have to convince them and we see कि ऐसा ही हो because तभी वो जो एक project है that would be come out to a home.
So over the years, I mean, everybody has a different style, right? My style compared to my wife's style or my daughter's style or even my mother's style, it's very different. When I walk into a house, I want to get rid of everything I'm holding. So I just want to make sure that my bag is in the right place. I want to put my car keys into the right place. I just want to make sure that everything that's in my pocket is completely like I relieve myself of them. But it's not the way my wife operates. She has usually a bag with her or whatever, and then she likes to keep it in the room, and then 70 चीजें होती हैं उसके बाद में. तो हर किसी का ना approach towards even the comfort that's built into your house is different.
Yes.
और कई बार मुझे लगता है यार आपको जॉब बहुत मुश्किल है यार. मतलब
हाँ, so,
it's like it's not
you
an
know,
easy
like recently we delivered a project, so that was a multi-generational project. It's like 3 generations live in the same house. So we had to take care of what everybody has to say. Like in the ground floor, when you enter, probably the mom has something to say कि नहीं मुझे ऐसे चाहिए. When I enter, my comfort should be this way.
Correct.
और जो उनकी daughter-in-law है, उनका एक अलग style of living है. जैसे
Exactly.
probably I'll just give an example. So the mother-in-law said कि I want my washroom and walk-in wardrobe to be designed in such a way कि जब कोई हाउस हेल्प एंटर कर रहा है ना तो दे आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सेस माय वॉकिंग वार्डरोब बट आई डोंट वांट टू बी प्लेस्ड इन द रूम whereas the daughter-in-law wanted a very expansive wardrobe कि उनको चाहिए कि my washroom should look like a luxury space probably I lock it from outside only but I want to be like a amalgamated space so you have to cater to different needs in every project.
Every person has a different personality.
Yeah, in the same house also. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not different projects in the same project.
Six
also.
people, six different personalities.
Yes.
And that's where, the job becomes like too hard sometimes for me to understand. What's the one design rule as such that you secretly think is little nonsense? Okay, I want to change this question. I want to make it more nonsense. So I'm going to say, what's one design rule you secretly think is utter nonsense?
I think probably for me it would be कि जब आप डिजाइन कर रहे हो ना तो जो स्पेस जब आप डिजाइन कर रहे हो तो बहुत बार ना लोग कहते हैं कि they put in a lot of stuff in it. कि this like I talked earlier also the space is small but the requirement is big. So बहुत सारे आर्किटेक्ट्स ऐसे होते हैं कि जो चाहते हैं कि वो सब कुछ केटर कर देंगे बट ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं होता. So you have to then convince your client to design the space as per you have how much of space. Not कि ठीक है उन्होंने मांगा तो हम सब दे देंगे. So I think that is with the new architects also should learn in that context कि you do not have to agree on everything what your client is saying.
But we come from culture ना जहाँ एक restaurant में जाते हैं, the food that they brought on is not good, and they come and ask you how's the meat, sir. It's amazing. It's great.
We
You
should
should
be
give an
positive.
honest feedback, right? तो हम जिस चीज के लिए पे कर रहे हैं उससे honest feedback नहीं दे पा रहे. Now come to a situation where the client who's paying us, उनको honest feedback देना कि that what you're thinking is not right and there is
No,
an issue with
like
the
I say, जैसे जब हम भी कोई project start over भी करते हैं, like when we take the project, like in the initial discussions also, we make this point very clear to our clients कि listen, you are paying for a professional opinion, so be ready to hear it. मतलब ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आप like in the morning also while coming here also one of our clients called to our team and said कि आप ना मेरी कुछ भी बात नहीं सुनते हो, आप सब अपनी चलाए जा रहे हो, मैं कुछ भी बोलता हूँ बोलते हो आउट ऑफ ट्रेंड है, मैं कुछ भी बोलता हूँ बोलते हो प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है, इतना हो गया. तो he was a little irritated, but then our team also explained कि sir, then while the time of handover we want you to say कि ठीक है आपने practical decisions हमें दिलवाए, आप ज्यादा चीजें बना रहे हो, so you have that practical knowledge on ground कि ठीक है ये चीज ऐसे अच्छी लगेगी सर, क्योंकि because you are being exposed to a lot of things right now. But since we are designing, we know practically what would look good. जैसे अभी आप Pinterest पे देख रहे हो, आप Instagram पे देख रहे हो, आपके 100 relatives भी हैं, वो भी आपको 100 opinions दे रहे हैं, तो आप भी बहुत कंफ्यूज हो. यू डू नॉट एग्जैक्टली नो आल्सो व्हाट यू वांट. आपने एक बेसिक ब्रीफ दिया, हम आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स पूरी कर रहे हैं, वो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है एज एन आर्किटेक्ट. बट देन इट इज ऑल्सो योर सिंस यू आर पेइंग, सो मैं तो जो आप बोल रहे हो कर दो, दैट्स इजी फॉर मी. बट अल्टीमेटली व्हेन यू आर पेइंग यू शुड टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ इट, यू शुड बिलीव इन अ प्रोफेशनल ओपिनियन.
Actually, they don't understand that उनके लिए ये फर्स्ट हाउस फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सो दे डोंट नो कि इसका क्या अपकर्षण होगा, क्या मतलब इसका क्या एंड प्रोडक्ट क्या आएगा, या क्या इससे कुछ प्रोज एंड कॉन्स क्या है. बट हम लोग जैसे साइट्स कर रहे हैं, हम लोग प्रोजेक्ट्स कंप्लीट करते हैं, हैंड ओवर करते हैं, सो वी नो कि इसका ये प्रॉब्लम था, या इसका ये इशू था, इसका फाइनल प्रोडक्ट ये आया था, तो उससे ये अच्छी बातें हैं, ये बुरी बातें हैं. सो वही हम उनको क्लाइंट्स को सजेस्ट करते हैं. उसी का एक फाइनल वो डिसीजन लिया जाता है कि ठीक है सर ये मत करिए, इससे ये इश्यूज आएंगे. वो स्टार्टिंग में तो नहीं समझते.
फर्स्ट टाइम वो बिल्डर्स के साथ फिर
Yes.
कन्वर्सेशन भी लंबी चलती है इसी चीज को लेके. We
हाँ,
might have to
मतलब
move
कि
back and
then
forth.
we have to put
कई
a lot
बार
of
को डिस्कस करना होगा.
explain to them. And like you know there's like a handover that we did, so we had done a recent photo for that also. So we usually when we do a photo shoot we take client testimonials, like a very real and a very natural client testimonials. So Chirag is having a conversation with that client and she is completely agreeing on the camera to the fact that she had very different opinions and we pushed her to do things that she didn't want it.
Right.
And now she's very happy. मतलब जैसे उनके ना एक रिलेटिव थे, उनका घर था, तो ना मैं 2-3 बार उनका घर दिखा के लाया, they really wanted कि
That was the reference.
हाँ कि हमें ना इनसे बेटर चाहिए, इनसे बेटर चाहिए. And now on the camera she's saying कि anybody and any common person who comes to their house and the other person's house say कि आपका घर ना बेटर लगता है, आपका घर ना बहुत सटल लगता है, it looks very elegant now.
लोग
So
डिस्कशन में भी मतलब वो डिस्कशन मोर ऑफ लाइक जैसे हम लोग सिर्फ पूछ रहे थे कि कैसा रहा आपका एक्सपीरियंस, वो बहुत ज्यादा ना जनरल उस पे आ गया. तो उसके बाद शी वाज लाइक कि थैंक गॉड मैंने एट द एंड आप लोगों की ही सुनी.
Oh, nice.
और उनको बहुत वो शी सॉ बाय हरसेल्फ कि जो भी उन्होंने कोई एक या दो अपने डिसीजन लिए, शी उसमें वो रिग्रेट ही कर रही है आजकल.
Experience नहीं है ना चीज का, so
हाँ.
that's why you hire professionals. जब कोई situation argumentative या out of hand, who plays the good cop, who plays the bad cop?
I am the good cop, as I said. I'm like, since you can see I'm probably I'll say a little diplomatic about
चिराग
stuff.
चुप है, बता नहीं रहा.
हाँ नहीं, चिराग इज वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. लाइक अगर उसको नहीं समझ आ रहा ना तो एट टाइम हमारे क्लाइंट भी बोलते हैं कि हम ना वर्धा मैम से जाके पूछ लेते हैं, वो हाँ बोल देंगे प्रॉब्लम। एंड चिराग इज लाइक नहीं, ये बोला है तो यही होगा साइड पे, ये सिलेक्शन है तो यही लगेगा।
ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि शी इज बीन द बैड कॉप एंड यू हैड टू रिजॉल्व दैट सिचुएशन बीइंग गुड कॉप?
हाँ, बहुत बार हुआ है, बहुत बार हुआ है, बट ठीक है। अभी अगर आप अभी का सिनेरियो देखोगे ना, आई यूजुअली ट्राई कि क्लाइंट वर्धा से बहुत ज्यादा बात ना ही करे,
ओके,
बिकॉज मेरे को बहुत ज्यादा ऐसा होता है कि ये बैक एंड पे रहे, क्योंकि जितना इसका कूल माइंड रहेगा ना, उतना ये और अच्छा वर्क कर पाएगा।
fair.
सो अगर जैसे हम लोग कहीं पे जाते भी हैं, समटाइम्स शी गेट्स द कॉल, मैं बोलता हूँ वर्धा अपनी कॉल मेरे पे ट्रांसफर, अब कॉल्स नहीं लेनी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। अब मैं मॉर्निंग में भी सो देता हूँ, बता अगर आज तुझे करना है, अपनी ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग करनी है, डिजाइनिंग करनी है, यू जस्ट
बट इफ यू आर प्लेइंग द बैड कॉप ऑल द टाइम, तो कॉल तो उसी को आएगा ना सारा।
नहीं
They when a client knows कि ठीक है, while you know if they need something that needs to be done on site, he is the one who takes more responsibility for that also.
I'm just joking.
हाँ.
Yeah, you get it, right? If homes could talk back, कि अगर घर की अपनी जुबान होगी और प्रकृति में कुछ कह सकते, तो जो तुम्हारा लास्ट प्रोजेक्ट जो भी हैंड ओवर किया, what would that project say to you?
कि मतलब आई थिंक मेरा प्रोजेक्ट प्रॉब्लम कुछ कहता है कि आई एम लाइक क्वाइट यू नो serene in my own space. आई थिंक वो मुझे ये कहता मेरा प्रोजेक्ट जो था।
What about you? What do you think?
हमारा प्रोजेक्ट, अगर मेरा प्रोजेक्ट होता तो वो मुझे कहता कि
और प्रॉब्लम मेरा प्रोजेक्ट मुझे शायद ये भी कहता कि जब मैं बन रहा था तो जो मेरा ओनर है, मतलब जिससे रहना था, इसने मुझे बहुत गाली दी, बट अभी रह के बहुत खुश है इसके अंदर।
Oh, so that it's a stressful process. मतलब घर बनाना आसान, I think it's right up there to like जैसे हमारे बड़े बोलते हैं ना, ये घर बनाना बच्चों की शादी कराना, तो सबसे मुश्किल चीज है।
एंड यू नो पीपल आर ऑल्सो वेरी इनटू द फैक्ट कि ये दो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस होते हैं उनकी लाइफ के।
100%.
सो उनको बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती हैं ऑफ थिंग, एंड कभी कभी ना वो बहुत ओवर एक्सपेक्ट भी कर लेते हैं, जो उन्हें ना बहुत ज्यादा लेटर स्टेज पे रियलाइज होता है, ड्यूरिंग द कंप्लीशन स्टेज उनको रियलाइज होता है कि यू नो इट्स नॉट मैंडेटरी कि आप बहुत ओवर एक्सपेक्ट करो तो ही चीज अच्छी निकल कर आएगी। लाइक और जो जैसे अभी मिनिमलिज्म की बात करें तो आवर स्टाइल इज मिनिमलिस्टिक, बट लोग ना मिनिमलिज्म को ना बहुत गलत डायरेक्शन में ले लेते हैं। मिनिमलिज्म इज नॉट ऑलवेज सम ब्लैंड यू नो सिंपल स्पेसेस कि ठीक है आपने कुछ पुट इन नहीं करा, प्लेन दीवारें छोटी, दैट्स नॉट मिनिमलिज्म फॉर मी। फॉर मी मिनिमलिज्म इज क्लैरिटी, लाइक आपका जो आप स्पेस डिजाइन कर रहे हो, इट शुड हैव क्लैरिटी एंड इट शुड हैव लाइक प्रायोरिटी सेट कि ठीक है ये स्पेस है, दिस इज डिफाइंड। अगर मुझे ट्रांजिशनल स्पेस भी बनाना है तो इट हैज इट्स ओन पर्पस, द स्पेस हैज इट्स ओन पर्पस, नॉट जस्ट ठीक है वाइट दीवारें कर दी, छोटा छोटा फर्नीचर रख दिया, दैट्स नॉट मिनिमलिज्म फॉर मी।
I mean, it's all depending on personal choices as well in a way.
Yeah.
मुझे जो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज आया था अपने घर में, वो आया था कि I rather have a hard opinion, which is even fixed in a mindset, than I have no opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So मेरी और मेरी वाइफ का आर्गुमेंट होता है कि I don't want a lot of stuff. चलेंगे यार, कुछ कॉर्नर्स तो अच्छे सजाने पड़ेंगे ना, कहीं तो कुछ कलर्स डालने पड़ेंगे। तेरे को पता नहीं क्या, तो मोनोटोन्स में है, यू लाइक वेरी सटल पैलेट, यू नो, कलर पैलेट एंड एवरीथिंग, यार कीप इट सिंपल, यू नो, लेस मेंटेनेंस, लाइफ इज इजी। दैट वाज माय लॉजिक। हर्स वाज आई वांट टू क्रिएट सम कॉर्नर्स इन माय हाउस which appear like vivacious, they need to look very nice, they need to look lively, great, super appealing. But then there's this third person who's like my mother, like mama ऐसे करा दूं, हाँ ठीक।
हाँ वो शिफ्ट
सोनाक्षी goes back, my wife goes to her and says, "Mama, ऐसे ये ज्यादा बेटर नहीं है, ये अच्छा है।" अब वो ये भी अच्छा है और ये भी अच्छा है ना, so there's no decision made. No.
हाँ
So I rather work with people who have like hard opinion. It's easy. At least they have clarity of what they are thinking.
yeah.
I don't know how often you guys feel with that. The same.
I think like you know what I feel is कि एक क्लाइंट होता है ना जो कुछ भी नहीं कह रहा होता है, then एक क्लाइंट होता है जो बहुत कुछ कह रहा होता है।
Yeah.
So I feel clients who are in between make us do better projects because कहीं ना कहीं वो आपकी लिमिट्स पुश कर रहे होते हैं। एक क्लाइंट जो कह रहा है कि कुछ भी डिजाइन कर दो, तो उसमें मुझे पता है कि ठीक है, then the house would not speak about their personality, it would probably speak more about my personality. But people who are somewhere in between, who are you know expressing themselves but are also ready to listen. जैसे एक तरीके के लोग होते हैं ना, they're not ready to listen, but उनको अपना ओपिनियन नहीं पुट करना है, then they have hired us but they're not ready to listen. They'll show some Pinterest pictures, नहीं हमें ये अच्छा लग रहा है, so then what's the need of me? But people हाँ तो what is the need of me?
कॉर्नर्स है और 10 कॉर्नर्स को Pinterest पे आप सर्च कर रहे हो, there is no
amalgamation of space. It's not looking like home, it's looking like a Pinterest board more of like.
God, वो बहुत होता है। एक सेकंड कट ले, मैं अपना थॉट रिलेट बहुत सही था यार, तो गिव मी मोमेंट। ओके, ऑलराइट, या यू लाइक दैट, ठीक है। तो क्लैपर ला रहे हैं ना नेक्स्ट टाइम। सो ही इज बॉट अ क्लैपर, ही लाइक ओके मैं यहाँ रखूंगा, खूब लगेगा। So now when you talk about such clients, so दोनों में से better क्या है आपके लिए? Somebody who says कि okay, I give it to you, जो करना है करो, या फिर somebody who's like okay, I want to be a part of the process, I really want to be inside everything, I want to take all the decisions. Like which kind of client you guys enjoy working with the most?
Like, matlab, I'll say somewhere in between, because when people put in their opinion, they push to you to a limit to you कि आप अच्छा कर पाओ, you do better with your job. एक होता है कि ठीक है, तो वही मैं कह रही होता है, probably it's easier to design with someone who's not saying anything, but then ना कहीं you also stuck with your design कि ठीक है मुझे ये पसंद है, I'm doing it and it's done. बट जो लोग कहीं ना कहीं इन बिटवीन होते हैं ना, उनका करना और बेटर निकल कर आता है, माय ओपिनियन। जो अपना ओपिनियन देते हैं बट दे आर रेडी टू लिसन ऑल्सो एंड दे आर इन्वॉल्वड इन द होल प्रोसेस, तो उनका अगर बहुत रेजोनेट करता है उनकी पर्सनल पर्सनालिटी के साथ, एंड इट आल्सो पुशेस मी टू अ लिमिट कि मैं अच्छा डिजाइन कर पाऊँ, मैं बेटर डिजाइन कर पाऊँ, एंड आई एम एबल टू सैटिस्फाई द क्लाइंट। बट आई डोंट लाइक दोस काइंड ऑफ पीपल जो सिर्फ बोलते हैं दे डोंट लिसन। सो आई फील लाइक कि ठीक है
चलो आप ही
फिर,
कर लो।
हाँ आप ही कर लो, मतलब आपको जरूरत तो है
What
नहीं।
about you?
इन माय ओपिनियन मुझे ना बहुत मजा आता है बहस करने में।
सही है, जरूरी भी है कर लो।
मुझे जेन्युइनली बहुत मजा आता है। सो अब मैं इतना ज्यादा हो चुका हूँ, आई ऑलमोस्ट नो कैसे कन्विंस करना है, चाहे वो कैसा भी पर्सन।
Okay.
सो मुझे बड़ा मजा आता है, ये मुझे बहुत बार होती है कि तुझे क्या मजा आ रहा है, तू इतनी लंबी लंबी बात कर रहा है। स्ट्रेट अवे उनको बोलते ठीक है मैं वेब डिजाइन, बोलो नहीं भाई, मेरा काम है उनको कन्विंस करना, उनको समझाना, उसके सारे प्रोज एंड कॉन्स बताना। सो मुझे बड़ा मजा आता है। सो आई वांट कि क्लाइंट हो, मैं उसको क्रॉस क्वेश्चन करूं, मैं उसको जवाब दे पाऊं, सारी चीजें दिखा पाऊं। तो मेरे को बड़ा मजा आता है उन लोगों को ऐसी
It's
clients
good
मिले।
to have people who are engaged, who are hands
Yes,
on.
yes.
मुझे लगता है कि when you actually have a dialogue, even if the dialogue is argumentative, as long as there is mutual respect ना, वो अच्छा
हाँ,
solution निकालता है।
Yes,
दैट्स व्हाट आई एम
It's
सेइंग।
always a better solution. तो आप कितना भी, आप कई बार हो सकता होगा आप लोग अपने क्लाइंट्स की ओपिनियंस माननी भी होती होगी कि वो ये कह रहे हैं, तो एंड यू माइट हैव फाउंड सम ऑफ देम टू बी लाइक ऑन द राइट साइड एज वेल कि अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, ये आइडिया तो सही है।
नहीं बट उसमें पता है क्या होता है, एक चैलेंज बन जाता है हमारे लिए ना, एक टास्क है। अब उसने बोला है कि उसकी ये पर्टिकुलर रिक्वायरमेंट है, उसका पर्टिकुलर डिजाइन है। अब यही तो मेन चीज है ना कि अब उसको कैसे प्ले करना है, उसमें दिमाग लगाएंगे तो मजा आएगा। अब
हाँ,
क्या है
that's what
कि
I'm saying. I also enjoy it because it helps me push my limits. कि ठीक है ये तो मैंने सोच ही लिया था ना यार, अब what new?
So in a way, then a challenging
हाँ
client is a much better client.
हाँ, but not someone who's not ready to listen.
हाँ
So hard
तो
mindset you're saying. अच्छा
हाँ
fixed team ने यही.
हाँ, मतलब वो people who are like उन्होंने बताया उन्हें ये चाहिए, now it's my job to deliver it. But कुछ लोग हैं ना, उन्होंने बोल दिया कि नहीं मुझे Pinterest का यही फोटो चाहिए, तो अब इसमें मैं क्या बहस करूं, मतलब अगर वो बंदा सुनना ही नहीं चाहता, now आपने मुझे एक reference point दे दिया, now it's my responsibility ना to make best out of it.
But यार client का भी तो अब मैं एक बार let me clear the doubts है कि let me clear the client. मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मैंने एक प्रोफेशनल को इसलिए रखा है कि that who can shape my vision.
ओके,
समझ रहे हो? तो मैं तो पहली ओपिनियन, पहली अप्रोच ही वही, मेरा विजन है. Now I am hiring the right professionals to shape that vision and give it like a real picture now, right? Is that mindset wrong in a way?
नो नो, आप इसमें जो आपने क्लैरिटी दी ना, यू हैव अ विजन, यू नॉट हैव अ फिक्सेटेड थॉट, मतलब आपका विजन होना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
So let's say I'm designing a house for myself.
Yeah.
Designing a house for myself.
ओके,
समझना आप, हाँ, मैं बन गया आर्किटेक्ट अभी बात करने की. But I'm saying okay, I want that nostalgia of my childhood home, and I also want the comfort of a modern house.
Correct.
My brief will be like okay कि ये चीज मुझे चाहिए.
ठीक है.
Now, of course, there would be things which you would think are either outdated or you would think, यार ये these won't do justice to the design. Then you tell me कि यार ये चीज तो सही नहीं है इसके.
Okay.
अगर ऐसे नहीं, यार मेरे बचपन में अगर ऐसी था मुझे तो यही चाहिए.
Okay.
तो फिर क्या करोगे ऐसी
Then
सिचुएशन?
we'll explain you and bring balance to both things. That is what we are here to do. मतलब अगर आप बोलोगे ना यही करना है यही करना है, so that's not a very correct approach for you approaching a profession.
सो आई बेसिकली थिंक कि देखो दो तरीके के लोग होते हैं, एक है जिसमें ऑलरेडी डिसीजन मेकिंग कर ली है,
Okay.
और एक है कि जो सुनने को रेडी है, समझ रहा है, टाइम ले रहा है, 4 या 5 बार सेम चीज के लिए टॉपिक हर दूसरे तीसरे दिन सेम टॉपिक उठा रहा है, उसके बारे में डिस्कशन कर रहा है, बट एट द एंड जब हमने उनको समझाया दिखाया, वो मान रहा है, चेंजेस करा रहा है बट मान रहा है,
रीजनेबल
यस। तो उसमें तो अच्छी बात है और उसमें मजा आ रहा है, बट जिसने स्टार्टिंग में ये माइंडसेट अपना बना ले, नहीं मैं सुनने को रेडी हूँ, मुझे यही चाहिए, दैट इज अ मेन प्रॉब्लम, उसमें घर अच्छा नहीं बन सकता।
व्हाट इज लाइक द ब्रेकिंग पॉइंट ऑफ दिस रिलेशनशिप फॉर यू गाइस?
ब्रेकिंग पॉइंट एज इन
कि ब्रेकअप हो जाएगा।
देन वी आल्सो रियलाइज कि कुछ क्लाइंट्स होते हैं जो हमें समझ आ जाता है कि ठीक है वो नहीं ही सुन रहा तो
वो
नहीं
कहाँ
ही
पर
समझ
नहीं
रहा।
ड्रॉ करते हो, मैं वो समझना चाह रहा हूँ इस सिचुएशन में कि वेयर आर्गुमेंट्स आर फाइन,
हाँ
राइट, बट वेयर इज दैट लाइन कि ओके अब सर मुझे लगता है आप हमारे साथ कंटिन्यू ना करें, हम आपके साथ काम कंटिन्यू ना करें,
so that happened
सर
like
या मैम।
हाँ in a very recent projects also कि वो it was like 7 to 8 times मतलब हम ऐसे नहीं में नॉट पुटिंग डिजाइन कि हम बनाते थे प्रेजेंटेशन वो चेंज कराते थे, फिर हम उनके उसको सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए फिर हम प्रेजेंटेशन लाते थे, फिर वो जो बैक एंड से खुद फर्स्ट ड्यूरिंग द फर्स्ट मीटिंग को पीपीटी लाते थे वापस वही दिखा देते थे, फिर हम फिर उसके अकॉर्डिंग सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए केटर द न्यू नीड्स हम फिर बनाते थे। So that happened in like 4-7 rounds during the initial stage also, and then on the 7th round I said कि सर लेट्स बी वेरी क्लियर, आप चाहते हो कि मैं डिजाइन करूँ, आप बार बार ये बोलते हो कि मैं डिजाइन करूँ, बट देन अगेन आप वापस वही चीज दिखा देते हो जो आप शुरू में एक बार बना के लाए थे। सो इट इज नॉट हैपनिंग बिकॉज इन दिस केस हमें ऑलमोस्ट 1.5 to 2 months हो गया है, एंड आई ऑल्सो डोंट वांट टू वेस्ट माय टाइम ऑल्सो एंड योर टाइम ऑल्सो। अगर आप ऑलरेडी क्लियर हो अपने पॉइंट पे कि आपको यही बनवाना है, सो आई एम नॉट सम ड्राफ्ट पर्सन, मतलब अगर आपको सिर्फ ड्राइंग ही चाहिए तो आई एम नॉट प्रेजेंट टू जस्ट मेक ड्राइंग।
डू क्लाइंट्स डू दैट?
यस,
अ फ्यू
ड्राइंग
क्लाइंट्स
लिया चल रही है।
नहीं
नहीं
वो नहीं, it's like कि अगर आपको सिर्फ ड्राइंग ही बनवानी है तो नॉट देयर फॉर दैट। वी आर हियर एज अ प्रोफेशनल टू गाइड यू आर्किटेक्चरली, टू गाइड यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर इंटीरियर्स, इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर एस्थेटिक्स, बट अगर आप वो नहीं सुनना चाहते हैं और आपको सिर्फ ड्राइंग बनवानी है तो आप देन इट्स बेटर आप इतने पैसे मत स्पेंड करो, यू आर पेइंग अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ फीस टू मी, देन डोंट स्पेंड दैट मनी, probably hire a drafts person।
Individually, which part of the job do you not like and you not individually?
Like talking to the client।
The entire process. Talking to the client, you don't like. हो गया काम, ये तो एंजॉय करता है उसको, तो ठीक है, ये दुनिया द राइट पार्टनर विद यू, सो दैट्स वेरी कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स, ठीक है। व्हाट अबाउट यू?
आई थिंक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है दैट डेकोर थिंग, बट आई डोंट एंजॉय।
ओके, यू नो अबाउट द फाइन डेकोर,
I love
which
the
is something you
client
enjoy.
part।
सॉलिड तुम लोगों ने पहले प्लानिंग की हुई है कि एकदम ऐसे पार्टनरशिप बनेगी, ऐसे फर्म बनेगी, एक शादी तो करें, अलग से होगी, बट यार बिजनेस में भी हमारे कॉम्प्लीमेंटेटिव
So
भी।
that's when we first started to business now,
Awesome.
and then we thought like we are complimenting each other and all that.
Perfect.
Like पूरा दिन तो काम ही
Perfect.
करना है, let's get married only।
Perfect. Makes sense, right? Super partnership. Lovely. One of the things that I found challenging with the person who was helping me where was जब मैं उनको कहता था कि चलो यार मणिपुर सिलेक्ट करने चल गए, तो हमारे डिलेज होते थे, of course, like he was also busy and we were also busy, चलता रहता था, but that's fine. That was part of the process. But I realized like after 2 or 3 times that okay, he doesn't enjoy this. He actually doesn't want to help you select my teams. I'm like, एक काम करता हूँ, let me call these guys over and let's sit down and see the samples that come, and then we'll take a decision sitting at us. We won't like go around 20 different places, वो नहीं करेंगे, घूमने नहीं। तो he actually was on board. तो मैंने ना उस टाइम उसका मूड समझ लिया था कि इसको क्या इंटरेस्ट बन रहा है और इसको क्या इंटरेस्ट नहीं बन रहा है. He didn't want to run around in the markets. I'm like, fine, let's not do that because he obviously like people are busy and everything, and I get it. It's valuable time for him and me. In fact, बैठ के जब हम डिसीजंस लेना शुरू किया तो वेंडर्स इतने सारे ऑप्शंस ले लेके हमारे पास आए and we sat down and we actually finished it. It was quite easy. But उस point of time पे मैंने realize किया कि मैं argumentative हो जाता कि यार that's what I'm training for. You should do this with me. तू चल मेरे साथ, चल पत्थर फेंकने चलेंगे, चल. Then I think I would have like sort of spoiled the relationship and I also not enjoyed the process
But
personally.
like I would add one thing to it, like when we get a client on board and the client gets us on board, so in the initial discussions we make it very clear कि सर देखो जो मार्केट में मटेरियल विजिट होगी ना वो आपके साथ 1 या 2 times ही होगी, और उससे पहले अगर आपको जो भी अपने लेवल पे सर्वे करना है, मतलब वी आर नॉट फोर्सिंग यू कि ठीक है इसी शॉप पे चलो आपको यहीं से लेना है,
Right.
वी रिकमेंड आर वेंडर्स टू यू जिनसे हम लोग प्रोक्योरमेंट करते हैं, लाइक बिकॉज वी हैव अ वेरी क्लियर प्रोजेक्ट, मतलब हमारे पास
We
पहले
experience.
हाँ मतलब
Yeah.
एक्सपीरियंस ऑल्सो एंड वी हैव अ डिजाइन रेडी कि आपको भी पता है हमें पता है क्या चाहिए,
हमें ट्रस्ट है कि वो सही एग्जीक्यूट कर देगा.
हाँ, and but just in case if you don't want to do that, we're okay if you want to go ahead with your vendor also.
Yeah.
Just do a market survey at your end. If you're okay with the pricing of our vendor, if you're okay with the pricing of your vendor,
Okay.
and we're getting the same thing that we want, so then you do just a basic market survey, and then for the final selection we'll go with you. so that आपका भी टाइम बहुत ना वेस्ट हो और हमारा भी टाइम बहुत ना वेस्ट.
Correct.
So this is something that we make clear to the clients because otherwise, it's a lot of waste of time because there are a few clients. कुछ clients होते हैं उनको बहुत clear होता है कि उनको क्या चाहिए. Probably that's just finished in one visit. But कुछ clients ऐसे होते हैं that we used to face that earlier during the initial phases of our career. So then we started to make it a point that let's just put this thing upfront during the onboarding process also. So the client also does जैसे आप कह रहे हो कि आपके साथ हुआ तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं बुरा लगा है वो चीज. And you should have अगर कोई और होता आपकी जगह तो probably you might have picked the fight over it.
Initially मुझे लगा था.
हाँ तो
फिर मैंने realize करा okay he doesn't do it.
हाँ so you realize that but there are clients who doesn't realize this so we make it clear during the onboarding process also.
मेरे केस में ना मुझे एक दोस्त ने बता दिया. She is somebody who does commercial retail.
Okay.
High end जो apparels की retail होती है ना वो करती है जैसे stores like Malmal and all these
Okay.
brands. She told me this one. कहती बॉस देख तेरा भी एम वही है कि घर अच्छा बने उसका भी एम वही है कि घर अच्छा बने.
Correct.
तो पहले वो समझ लेना that both of you want the same thing. मैं ओके वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कि जब एंड गोल सेम है so then there is no argument.
Correct.
फिर चल ठीक है I mean I will live with your inclinations you will have to live with mine. कि मेरा ये इशू है तेरा इशू है. It's kind of like a marriage in a way क्योंकि I understand your shortcomings you understand.
Correct.
I want to ask you guys about lighting a little bit because there was this again another blog post that I saw and lighting intrigues me. Lighting is something which it's not something I can talk about and explain it to people, but we can try. What do you think matters more, natural lighting or artificial lighting, especially in the design space? How do you play with lighting?
It's like very difficult question.
Yeah.
So both of them are equally important. Natural lighting, when you say daylight and like morning time and afternoon time, it is very important. We usually try ki maximum of natural lighting we try to give to our clients. But
Some sites are like कि नहीं होता.
yeah, some sites they are not like possible to give like more of natural light. So उसमें usually like we use for set ceiling and all.
Which is like an alternative, like new
Yeah.
product, जैसे sunroof करके आता था
Right,
हमारे
right.
पास. So alternate options.
That's based on the circadian rhythm. and
Yeah.
whatnot. That's
So,
very interesting.
हाँ.
I saw.
So that's also an alternative to.
अगर आप totality में बात करोगे, lighting is one of the most important that plays a role in interior designing.
Okay.
So मेरे लिए बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग हो है. मैं usually खुद से personally करना पसंद करता हूँ.
Okay.
But yes, both of them are equally important. I won't say कि like artificial lighting or natural lighting.
So if you could get just one type of light in a Delhi apartment, one type of light, like if you have to just pick, because this is my favorite way to light up a home. Like let's say we kill all the natural light, right? पर्दे लगाते हैं अपने घर में. अब हमें जो हम artificial light लगा रहे हैं, so if there's one type of light that you usually prefer, which one is it?
ऐसे देखो जब हम घर डिजाइन करते हैं ना तो the entire house is different moods at different times.
All different rooms.
Yeah, क्योंकि जैसे अब suppose करो if I'm in the living room, probably at the day I'm enjoying my cozy coffee corner and I'm chilling. So मुझे तब एक soft lighting चाहिए. But then during the time मेरे friends आए हैं hosting a dinner or probably I'm hosting my friends over. So तब मुझे थोड़ी dim light चाहिए. I want the mood to be set in to enjoy. So there's no specific answer कि एक तरीके की light चाहिए because every time I have a different mood. Like ऐसा नहीं है कि probably to party I have a different house, to stay, to chill I have a different house. So मुझे lighting को इस तरीके से plan करना है and that's where automation also comes in. कि हमें light को इस तरीके से plan करना है that it's solving all purpose in the same space. So that is my take. I won't say a particular type of lighting is important, but yeah, if you say a particular type, then I do like, just say you mentioned, I do like to add set things at various points. Probably a wall which is acting like a natural window. If I don't have natural lighting in the house.
Probably any house without automation is
Majorly, we are adding automation. Probably like 10% of projects are not with automation.
everybody's going for it.
So we are doing in major all projects.
Interesting. Chandeliers, do you think they're still relevant in the modern homes or they're just like leftover luxury symbol?
No, for me, chandeliers are more of art pieces. Like there are a lot of designers who are doing handmade chandeliers. Like Harshita Jantani, she's doing amazing pieces. Those are not just chandeliers; they're like art pieces placed in a house. So if you're not doing too much on your walls and you just do those kind of chandeliers like oil lighting, all those are sculptural pieces rather than just chandeliers. So they're changing the whole vibe of the space.
Yes or no? Modern houses?
Yes.
Chandeliers.
Yes.
Yeah. Apartments में नहीं चलते यार.
Apartment only because you at the he placed chandeliers in such a way जैसे अब मेरा
देखो
dining
डिजाइनर को हायर करने का यही तो एक फायदा है ना आपका. It is not about the height. It is
we have
about
placed
the
chandeliers
correct.
in houses जहाँ पे 8 and 8.5 feet height भी है.
It is the like correct space जहाँ पे आप chandelier को place कर रहे हो.
Okay.
And more of जैसे height की बात करो ना chandelier is one thing that should be at eye level. तो जब भी आप किसी चीज की बात आई लेवल पे कर रहे हो ना तो ऑलरेडी उसका हाइट ड्रॉप होगा ही. क्योंकि अब अगर मेरा डाइनिंग टेबल है मैंने शैंडलियर इतना ऊपर लगा दिया कौन दिख रहा है इतना ऊपर मैं बात करूँ कि आई एम प्लेसिंग इट एज अ स्कल्पचर पीस हु इज लुकिंग लाइक दैट इट शुड बी एट योर आई लेवल इट शुड ऐड probably a certain depth to the entire space so डाइनिंग टेबल के नीचे कोई भी वॉक नहीं करता यार so you place it at a height where it's in your eye
That
level.
is, I'm saying that it is the like place which you are installing.
There was this common staircase in one of my old houses. I remember there was this chandelier. Oh God. उस टाइप का ना it used to be I think it was a doctor from Indian Bollywood movies. So my dad had like a thing for it, कि यार ऐसा घर बनाऊंगा chandelier लगाऊंगा, And there was a staircase which went inside the house.
Okay, and on the cutout.
And on the cutout, yeah. And you could see it from both the floors. It was so amazing. And then I asked him, यार कैसे सोचा? But यार देखो वो जमाने सिंपल थे. सिंपल इसलिए कहूँगा कि तब आर्किटेक्ट्स में ना आपको प्लान बना के देंगे. और वो इंटीरियर्स का पार्ट
खुद करते थे हाँ.
Interior design in India, I would still say it's like a very recent and a new field. And I dare say half of the people don't want to hire professionals in India even today. Like आज भी अगर आप दिल्ली में देखोगे ना तो 80% या 80% कंस्ट्रक्शन जो भी है ऑथराइज. तो उसमें आर्किटेक्ट्स ड्राफ्ट्समैन होते हैं तो आपको नक्शा बना के दे देते हैं. That's it. And you don't plan your house in the interior with anybody. अपना दिमाग लगा के लोग काम कर रहे हैं आज भी. And that is where the discomfort in the house also comes in.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. But yeah, it was a thing. Again, nostalgia. So I think nostalgia is a big promotional factor for me when it comes to houses. What's the one most common lighting mistake that homeowners make and you see them making?
I would say like one of my clients did a very big blunder and no, just I told you there are certain clients that don't listen to you and then at the end of the day they want to do whatever they want. There was one of our clients, what he did was he like COB is like the new trend what you place in your house. So उनको था कि because like in his old house he was doing tube light panel lights. So he said कि आप ना मुझे सर्किट इस तरीके से डिजाइन करके दे दो कि मैं पैनल लाइट भी लगा लूं सीओबी भी लगा लूं और जब मुझे पैनल लाइट जलानी है मैं पैनल लाइट जला लूं जब मुझे सीओबी जलानी है मैंने कहा this is not how it works please try to understand and he didn't listen and he placed both the things on the ceiling and the ceiling was looking awful one and the light impact was too bad.
Okay, very interesting. Again, कोई vision नहीं है ना. He couldn't understand what you were saying.
He was pretty satisfied with it. The most bad thing about it is
I think people tend to live with their bad decisions sometimes. And then there's that hard mindset we were talking. Let's talk about luxury a little bit. We're sitting in Delhi. I think luxury अगर हम बात करें हमारा डिजाइन का सफर पूरा नहीं होता है. What's the one small change that you think can instantly make a home feel luxurious? If there's anything that you can do to an apartment, so you can even say you can tweak the way it looks.
I think for me, I think it would be surely like since I enjoy styling, for me it would be totally buying good art pieces. Like investing in good art pieces would change the whole aura of the space.
I agree.
So that it's not just about paneling, putting gold things on walls.
Yeah.
That doesn't define. Like बहुत लोगों का scenario होता है कि वो
That's not luxury.
they relate luxury with gold.
Yeah.
Like when you add gold, they say it's luxury. It doesn't work like that. Luxury is more about adding finer pieces. Like when you talk about old money, new money, it is all about. So old money is something, it's very elegant, it's very subtle, and then you add a few expensive pieces of art, a few crystal pieces of probably candles or vases, and then it changes the whole space. It's not about some golden furniture, golden walls. That doesn't mean luxury for me. It's like probably minor accents of metal are important when you talk about luxury, but not everywhere like gold.
There's like some crazy art and sculpture going on right now.
Yeah, correct.
People are doing like beautiful work.
Yes. And there are like fairly it was not usually what you used to find in India, but now a lot of Indian people are doing really good work.
Any go-to places for art or for sculptures that you guys like always go to?
Not much, but we have been trying to contact a few galleries these days. So for that, I'm kind of attending a lot of art exhibitions and everything
Nice.
to get in touch with new
So
people.
many of
for
them
that.
coming around as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Same answer to you, art.
Yes, I completely agree. Home styling. Plus, I think maybe she would correct, add in some colors. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कलर्स ऐड करते हैं तो इट कैन मेक लग्जरी
Color and more about I think layers. जैसे supposedly if you say I'm probably designing a living room, ठीक है, and has 4 pieces of furniture in it. So I would not prefer to do all the pieces in the same fabric. Like probably for 1 or 2 sofas, I prefer a basic neutral linen. And then for other, I prefer a printed jacket fabric, like a very nice print, not like some floral or heavy print. A very subtle, nice print, and the plain velvet on other chairs in a color. So that would change the whole vibe of the space.
Very nice. Interesting. My mother is extremely good with lighting.
Okay.
And I dare say like decorative lighting. She has been doing this like for years. कि अगर कोई भी side racks होंगे, corners होंगे, she creates a light which like enhance the corners.
Okay.
I don't know where she got it from. It was probably the magazines they used to read. Like
Okay.
पहले वो होती थी ना जो घरों में magazines आती थी. My mom was like a buff. Like she loved knitting things and everything, right? So she was always this very keen sense of lighting she had. And I swear I remember this like every random day we just come home, either from college or dad comes back from work and we just see like कुछ तो change हो गया है. Furniture has been moved and things have happened and she's never happy with one set. And I think after playing with the setting of the house so much, when she got the hang of it, that lighting does the job.
Okay.
The corners and everything that she used to do, it was like crazy. But I don't know how she came up.
And probably those pieces, set the mood also. Like when you do not want too much of light.
100%.
And just the chandelier or probably the corner lamps have been lit. That totally sets that calm vibe of the
Good
space.
enough Banya middle class family, like she would still waste that light and in the corner saying, "Wo jala."
हाँ.
My living room looks better. And like even रात को जब हम सोने भी जा रहे हैं,
That's like
some
very
lights which are on,
back.
she would, yeah, it gives you a very serene vibe, like, okay, this is the time to retire at night, but very subtle lighting happening now, which is very cool, which is why I still have those scope lights at the bottom of my entire house. So मेरी kitchen में कभी भी हम जाते हैं, central area में कोई एक cope light on हो जाती है, that's it, what lights up the floor, and life is sorted. And it gives you a very nice vibe. What's the biggest waste of money that you've seen in the name of luxury interiors? People making mistake in terms of overspending and stuff.
Like I adding too much of gold strips everywhere in the house.
Is that like spending too much money though? I mean,
no, like not too much money, but like spending on that is like a total waste for me. Like why are you doing it? It's looking gaudy. It's not looking luxurious.
okay.
Please kindly understand that.
Okay.
I think
सबसे पैसा
spending a lot on one.
Okay.
Actually, the problem is it is almost the first, second step of procuring.
Yeah.
And you do a very emotional spending, like
So
during the initial
basically
phase of the process.
starting में ना client को बहुत ज़्यादा जोश होता है कि मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा करना है,
ये भी ले लो, वो भी ले लो, सब ले लो.
सब कुछ अच्छा लूंगा या महंगा लूंगा, उनके माइंडसेट में वो वाली चीज. बट वी यूजुअली ट्राई कि सारी चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है.
However, we do not want to leave the project at a stage where we were shift over styling हुई, you didn't buy good nice curtains.
Do you think that's a failure of budgeting, or do you think it's a
failure of budgeting majorly and client का थक चुका होता है बंदा.
But now these days we usually try कि हम बहुत ज्यादा spend ना करें मार्केट पे. ऐसा नहीं है कि we are like saving money on that और हम compromise कर रहे हैं. हम मार्बल अच्छा बाय करते हैं.
Can I dare say कि मार्बल पॉलिश होने के बाद चमकना अच्छे लगता है. मतलब
अच्छा लगता है.
I'm not saying like you buy the worst one which doesn't really suit your design theme, but usually I've seen like people go for like the craziest of marbles which are cheaper and come up with like beautiful
but it's not always
beautiful areas. It's how you do it.
Yeah.
Some of the places I've seen the most immaculate powder rooms done with the craziest marbles which are cheap.
It's more about your design sense.
Yeah, how you've done it.
It's not always about the
so
money.
many places I've seen. I was actually going to ask you about Italian marble, but no, not anymore. I think you got it. Spa bathrooms, statement furniture, art, lighting. Where should people think of splurging first? Art, you said.
Art, I think art is one important factor, and then lighting is also very important. कि अगर आपका फर्नीचर प्रॉब्ली इट्स नॉट सो एक्सपेंसिव बट इट्स लाइक अ गुड क्वालिटी फर्नीचर एंड योर लाइटिंग इज एट करेक्ट प्लेस, मतलब उसका टेम्परेचर सही है, इट्स प्लेस्ड करेक्टली, द फिक्चर्स आर आर्किटेक्चरल, so then the whole space comes out very good. And if your lighting is bad, then how much money you spend on the entire thing, it is not going to look.
I've seen some people do a great rehabilitation of furniture, like architects who come up with like rehabilitated spaces and they have this whole adaptive reuse mindset.
Yeah,
And they
sustainability is
do
one.
such good justice to like old stuff. And it never looks like old stuff. They are luckily polished everything. You basically take care of the grain and everything that's an play with it, and then you play with the fabric and whatnot. Styles do change.
Yeah,
and you
sure.
guys design like minimalistic homes, like your style is a little minimal. It's I don't think it's like too much stuff that you're filling in your house with the new place. But interesting play with that, you know. I've sort of fallen into this sphere of like thinking in that direction. Bड़ा dangerous लग रहा है मुझे if I start lecturing people who are professionals about design. Which corner of the home that do you think people neglect, the most, but in your opinion deserves a little more love within the house?
I'll say at times bathrooms. People, because post COVID, बहुत ना चीजों में चेंज आ गए. Now you need, मतलब you do not know, so people feel कि ठीक है, मतलब I usually recommend them कि आपका space जो है ना, it should be more of a comfort space, क्योंकि देखो कहीं ना कहीं probably not, when you're going to the office you're not able to spend so much time there, but when you are on your days off, you want like a nice spa kind of a feeling. आपको steam लेना है. Steam is very good for your body also. Like in a general sense, it's good for your body. So if you want to take that, जैसे tubs में I usually don't say people to spend a lot. मतलब
Right.
jacuzzis and all those things I do
People
not.
hardly use it.
हाँ, so I don't say कि ठीक है वो लगाओ या बहुत ज़्यादा spend करो उस चीज में. But for steams and all, I say कि ठीक है अपने bathroom को at least इतना decent and big enough बनाओ that you could, because you when you take a shower, that's like a regular thing you do. Even if in your daily thing, so it should be like that kind of thing. And that's one thing where you relax your body, so it should be good fittings, good pressure pumps, all those things should be installed properly so that you can enjoy those 15 to 20 minutes daily where your body relaxes.
Interesting. Got it?
I think
I think it's might be like it because by design people say to compromise a lot on that. Because that's like kind of an end stage of the project. So people say a lot to compromise, and it's very after much there. Like, कि सर lighting अच्छी नहीं लगाऊंगा तो घर अच्छा नहीं बनेगा.
but yes, we have like started convincing them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
And
I don't know. I think automations seem like a little, to me. Maybe I didn't find that, to be honest. There was not one product out there in terms of automation which actually caught my eye. I think all the people who were trying to sell it, there was something wrong with it. They were not pitching the right benefits.
Yes.
Maybe.
yeah, because like you said, product automation is not about product, it's about experience.
Experience.
तो हम कभी भी जैसे ऑटोमेशन में हम देखा है टच स्क्रीन भी आते हैं लाइक कुछ पैटर्न ऑल्सो, तो हम कभी अपने क्लाइंट को बहुत ज्यादा ये कन्विंस नहीं करते कि आप सब जगह टच ही लगाओ बिकॉज टच इज कंपैरेटिवली लिटिल एक्सपेंसिव. वी से कि आपको ना आपको कंफर्ट जज करना है, आपको पूरे एक्सपीरियंस को जज करना है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट जस्ट कीपैड्स, जस्ट सम फैंसी कीपैड्स व्हिच a lot of vendors try to sell. So it's more about integration of the entire system. It's more about कि आपका user जो है वो कितना advantage ले पा रहा है. Because while introducing technology in your house, it's more about the comfort that you're getting out of it. It's not about
For me,
product.
it's like it's different. I'm old school. Like when I say this, it's one more thing to worry about. You know what I mean? It's one more app in my. It's one more panel that's.
No, so it's like not always about the app. जैसे आप सुबह उठे, ठीक है,
Yeah.
अब आप उठे, आपको एक calm mindset चाहिए. You want like probably a soft music that makes you, because it's more about जब आप उठ रहे हो तो आपकी body एक relaxed state of mind हो गया. When you read about it, it's always said कि जैसे आप सो के उठे तो आपको एकदम ही उठना चाहिए.
Correct.
ठीक है, तो अब जैसे एक सॉफ्ट म्यूजिक प्ले होने लग गया that you have already set it in. एक सॉफ्ट म्यूजिक प्ले होने लग गया. You started your day with a good natural light, आपके curtains open हो गए. So that's already set it in. It's not something that you have to use it.
यार ऐसा सब क्यों कराओ? अब मैं फिर कुछ खर्चा कर बैठूंगा. But yeah, maybe in the future. Very interesting it is. Like I said, I think the person who was pitching it to me
Was probably
did not
yeah.
tell me the right things about it. Mirrors, textiles, color palettes, which has most power to transform your space on a budget?
आई थिंक देखो कलर पैलेट तो बजट पे हो ही गया क्योंकि वो तो करना ही है सो कलर पैलेट इज
वो नहीं
समथिंग
है
वो तो होना ही
I
है
think next.
हाँ आई थिंक कलर पैलेट फर्स्ट बिकॉज दैट इज समथिंग दैट नीड्स टू बी डन इट्स लाइक अ मैंडेटरी थिंग
Yeah.
सो चूजिंग द करेक्ट कलर पैलेट इज इंपॉर्टेंट
Okay.
ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं है ना कि आपको वॉल्स को ऐड करना है आपको कुछ तो ऐड करना ही था एंड दैट नीड्स टू बी डन सेकंड इज टेक्स्ट लाइक कभी भी जैसे वी हैव अ फर्नीचर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग आल्सो तो हमें उसमें क्लाइंट आते ना कहते कि सस्ता कपड़ा लगा दो हमने कहा जब अंदर कितनी भी अच्छी लगती है लगा देना आपने ऊपर में फैब्रिक 500 रुपए लगा देना ना तो उसकी सारी मतलब लुक खराब हो जाएगी अब एंड few clients have done like I have done a sofa for same exactly same design of sofa for one client and for another client
Right.
one client took the fabric that we recommended them and another client bought them वो खुद लेकर आया था फैब्रिक अपने किसी वेंडर से आप दोनों सोफा को देखोगे ना आप कह नहीं सकते सेम बंदे ने बनाया
Oh.
the other one is looking pretty
Finishing is same, everything is same, but
The fabric quality.
is
It's the quality of the fabric.
क्वालिटी एंड जैसे क्या होता है जब आप फैब्रिक चूज कर लो ना तो आपने देखा है जैसे दो चीप काइंड ऑफ फैब्रिक्स हुआ द स्लाइड लाइन वॉश काइंड ऑफ टेक्सचर ऑन इट सो दोस लुक्स वेरी चीप
How do you judge a fabric? Like अगर आपको अपनी upholstery के लिए furniture के लिए fabric judge करना is there like a method to it? For example, जब मैं materials की बात करता हूँ तो मैं तो specifications because that makes my life much easier. And such में यार it's a much easier space that I have. I talk about IS codes and I talk about standards and I talk about tested material. My life's sorted. But when it comes to something as wild in terms of like variety, how do you decide what a good fabric is in terms of quality first, and then of course color pattern and
सो द थ्रेड काउंट इज इंपॉर्टेंट
okay.
एक तो ये हो
Usually,
गया
what kind of thread count do you put?
above 1 lakh.
Above 1 lakh. Okay.
so thread count is important second aesthetics is also equally important
Mhm.
so you know like since we are doing it from quite a long so
Yeah.
while you know as we said हम टच एंड फील करके समझ जाते हैं कि कपड़े की क्वालिटी कैसी है
Yeah.
कैसा नहीं है सो हम टच करके we can recognize if it's a good quality fabric or a bad quality fabric so like I told earlier also like we like to layer textures so that is also important कि ऐसा नहीं है कि जैसे पहले पहले क्या होता था velvet was a main velvet and leather
Yeah.
ये दो फैब्रिक्स चलते थे मार्केट में ज्यादा but nowadays there's like textured jacket fabrics there's suede which do not catches fingerprints easily so those kind of fabrics maintenance free fabrics so
Something that doesn't catch ink easily. Like
yeah
you know,
like those
Easy to
maintenance free
maintain,
fabrics
yeah.
from the decor those are also
Yeah.
pretty good like बहुत सारे clients होते हैं जो specifically prefer करते हैं कि जहाँ पे उनका probably lounge areas है या जो areas बच्चों ने ज्यादा use करने हैं वहाँ पे वो वही वाले fabrics use करें so all those factors matter a lot.
I was getting high chairs for my home. You know, one of the first things I checked with the fabric was place my head against it and saw if my hair gets stuck to it. बहुत होता है ऐसे fabrics में. Static charge बन जाता है ना.
हाँ.
When your hair gets like stuck to it and it pulls on your hair. Especially like people with longer hair, like women face it much more than men do. And we don't realize, तो eventually बाल दिखते हैं उसके ऊपर fabric के ऊपर.
And वो majorly velvet के साथ होता है.
बहुत ज़्यादा होता है.
Velvet के साथ बहुत ज़्यादा होता है.
Correct. And one of the big worst things with leather is like whatever you have in your hair, वो दिखता है बाहर. If you have one in your hair, it shows on the surface. It's easy to maintain, but like still. Okay. Interesting. Minimalism की बात करें थोड़ी सी.
Correct.
Explain minimalism if you have to, because for some people, do you think it's a design philosophy, or do you think people now find it as a polite excuse to not buy like a lot of furniture or a lot of stuff in their house? What is minimalism? And for people who won't get it,
like I explained, like I gave a basic hint about it in the previous conversation also.
Yeah.
So for me, like I told you, like it's a design philosophy, but it's not just about some plain bland things. बहुत बार like we have posted on video in which our client is saying that we designed a very minimal house for them, and you can see the comments in that video. People are saying this is not called minimalism, this is not called minimalism. Like a lot of students and those kind of people just commented a lot on that video. This is not minimalism. So I just want to clarify the fact that minimalism is not always about something too plain. Like कि ठीक है आपने वॉल पे कुछ नहीं किया आपने बस एक फर्नीचर का पीस रख दिया that too very bland with like just one plain color. It's about organizing your space in a better way, like not doing too much with your space. You can say it's more about minimalism.
What about your take?
I would say not using too much of like wood panelings and all.
Okay. That is what takes it towards the luxurious side, isn't it?
Yes, you can say on a luxurious side, but like we usually don't like using too much of wood material and everything on paneling. Like it is not like कि मैं बहुत ज़्यादा पैनलिंग्स वगैरह कर दूंगा हेवी, तो उससे घर बहुत अच्छा लगेगा।
लेकिन मिनिमलिज्म का फंडा यार वहां से आता है ना, जहाँ लाइफस्टाइल से आया है, राइट? There are people who choose minimalism as a life, as a lifestyle.
हाँ, but it was more oriented like during the past century, जैसे हर एक आर्किटेक्चर स्टाइल धीरे धीरे डेवलप हुआ, तो minimalism was one of those styles that developed.
Isn't that fairly new in a way?
No, it's like you can say जैसे contemporary आया, contemporary is something that's in trend currently.
Okay.
So minimalism was born before that.
Okay.
So उसके बाद आया like more you can say Japanese people, the wabi sabi style is
Right.
kind of inspired from minimalism.
Right.
So but they have a style. It's not कि उन्होंने सब कुछ plain छोड़ दिया. So it's kind of a style that they've introduced, which is derived from minimalism, but it's not just about the plain things.
Okay. But I don't know. I think sometimes it also needs to suit your personality. If you really want, okay, my style is very minimalistic. In terms of like somebody who wants a house which is minimalistic, and your lifestyle is very lavish.
हाँ.
It's very out there. It's not minimalistic at all. Does it suit you? Does it actually match your lifestyle? I don't think it does. I live in a very, so when I say this, I live in minimalist. I know the number of items in my room, and I never buy one without throwing. I'm very finicky about it. I don't want to control too many things. I don't want to be able to take care of too many things. I don't want this to be cluttered. It's a very simple way of mindset. That's it. That is why I don't want a lot of design features within it. I want to keep it simple as simple as possible. But वो होता है. Once you start living in a house, you start holding a lot of stuff. You start accumulating a lot of stuff. So my next question is, design कर दिया, build कर दिया, सब final finish handover. Can you give us 3 tips for people who can actually maintain that design, who can actually live with that design, so that हम उसको नहीं spoil कर रहे without holding and cluttering?
So I think one is कि जब मुझे कोई भी क्लाइंट बोलता है कि आप ना वार्डरोब एक्स्ट्रा लिख दो, अभी हमारा घर छोटा है, जब हम अब बड़ा घर बनवा रहे हैं तो हम एक्स्ट्रा, सो आई से कि मैम आप अभी भी तो रह रहे हो ना, एंड यू आर यूजिंग, जैसे आपने बोला कि यू यूजिंग दिस अमाउंट ऑफ स्टफ, सो ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि आपका कुछ ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा या कुछ हो जाएगा, probably you need extra stuff since your house is increased for that utility, you need extra stuff, so do not keep on keeping more stuff. जैसे आपने पुराना तो फेंका नहीं, you just buy new thing, new
वही
thing.
पाइलॉन वाला एटीट्यूड है
हाँ,
हमारा.
so you just don't take that kind of attitude. And supposedly I have given a handover and have done, you know, जैसे बहुत बार लोग क्या करते हैं कि दिवाली आई, चलो अब दिवाली आई, let's buy some new styling things, then we just place it, not get rid of the old ones. So do not do that. ऐसे आपका अगर clutter होगा और ज्यादा clutter होगा कि आप और लाते जा रहे हो, you're not getting rid of old things. Probably, obviously, you know, Diwali is something that people want to put up new stuff in their house. Then do get rid of the old one. It's just don't be like कि यार ये तो मैंने 5,000 का खरीदा था, ये मैंने 10,000 का खरीदा था, this was pretty expensive, this I bought from an art fair, this I bought from, either don't buy new stuff, or if you're buying that, get rid of those old stuff. And then one is do keep your house organized all the time. जैसे बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हमारे कुछ नए क्लाइंट्स होते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि आप किसी क्लाइंट का साइट विजिट करवा दो, तो वी यूजुअली प्रेफर टू डू अ विजिट ऑफ दैट क्लाइंट जो अपने घर को ऑर्गेनाइज रखता है. मैं कितना भी अच्छा बनवा दूं, इट्स यू नो आपने, आपके बच्चा है, उनका बैग, हमने सब कुछ प्लान करके बनाया, हमने आपकी सारी चीजें ऑर्गेनाइज करके दी, बट स्टिल यू आर नॉट मेकिंग इट अ हैबिट कि आपके बच्चा है, स्कूल बैग नहीं पड़ा हुआ है, then your stuff is here and there. So that space, how much beautiful we make it, won't look good as far as you're keeping it organized. So that's very important. And then जैसे there are a few cleaning tips that we give to our clients. जैसे अब आपने अपना marble polish करवाया है, तो आप उसको, you know, you do not use harsh chemicals on that. So those are like a few.
Any specific chemical that you suggest to people?
I think there are like one or two companies.
Somebody told me Tasky or something, क्या नाम बताया था मुझे, and they actually sent me like a Amazon link to it कि अभी तुम्हें घर में नया marble है. I will in fact share that link with you guys in this video as well. I'm not trying to do an ad for any product, but like just telling. It works wonders, man. The
Yes,
polish
like
doesn't go
there are 2 or 3 companies which specially make these kinds of soft chemicals.
Yeah.
So basically क्या होता है कि आप कितना भी अच्छा पॉलिश करा लो अपने माहौल, जब हम हार्श केमिकल्स यूज करते हैं तो वो जो उसका ग्लॉसीनेस होता है वो आफ्टर अ मंथ वो बिल्कुल क्या है गोज एंड इट्स लाइक अ प्लेन मैट मार्क. बट जब आप ये वाले केमिकल्स यूज करते हो तो जो आप आज पॉलिश कर रहे हो वो बहुत लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन
लॉन्ग हो जाती है, वो doesn't take off the top layer.
हाँ, मैं उसकी लाइफ ज्यादा हो जाती है, जिससे ऐसा नहीं कि वो वेयर आउट नहीं होता, बट प्रॉब्लम जो एक साल में खराब होना था, इट वुड स्टे अ लिटिल लॉन्ग.
Interesting.
सेम विद फैब्रिक्स हम लोग उसके लिए भी केमिकल सजेस्ट कर देते हैं
कोटिंग्स लाइक
Coating
रेकमेंड
and
कोटिंग्स के जैसे कुछ तो हमने आपको बताया जैसे टीलिकॉल के फैब्रिक्स आते हैं which are resistant to liquid and everything. Then there are coatings on those
You
fabrics.
know, one of the services that my dry cleaner started giving, my dry cleaner जो घर आता है कपड़े लेके जाता है, तो he started giving you home dry cleaning.
Okay.
मशीन लेके आता है, does the steam press and everything in front of you, तो आपने वो सब चीज करके जाता है.
हाँ,
Plus,
that's it.
आप
हाँ.
एएनसी ले लो मुझसे सर, एक साल की
हाँ.
एएनसी ले लो मुझसे.
There are like a lot of cleaning companies for that.
They just come around like twice a year, and the same local dry cleaner is doing that. They say vertical ad किया है, and the kind of kachra he takes out of that chair,
हाँ,
it's just
because
amazing.
a lot of
कि
dust
कितना वाला
accumulates
खराब हो
in
जाता है.
plastics.
And we live in a dusty country. So if you had, let's say, 10 lakh rupees to spend on styling upgrades, because we've been talking about styling up, where would you start? What would be the process? Budget है 10 lakh रुपए का, apartment of 4 bedrooms, Delhi. 10 lakh रुपए ही है budget.
Okay, so I think first I'll do some good artwork, probably from some new artists because we cannot in that budget afford probably some famous artists from some new upcoming
Where will
artists.
you place it? Living room?
Living room. I'll start with the living room.
Public area.
Public
Okay.
area. I'll firstly start with public area.
Okay.
Then some good competitive books
Mhm.
and a few pieces for the consoles. I'll not preferably start with putting a lot of stuff on the dining table and the coffee table because usually,
Yes.
people while serving get rid of those stuff. So I'll probably place those good stuff on the consoles, the TV runners and everything. And then I would love to sell the bathrooms as per the need of the client. It's not just keeping some random stuff like some good set of sanitary like those soap hand washes and
Right.
everything.
Organizers.
Organizers and everything. They'll use also, it's not just a piece
Right.
to be kept, they'll use also. So
Mhm.
those kind of stuffs, they also add a lot to the space. And then I'll fill in with like a lot of plants because they change the entire
Exteriors?
interiors. Exteriors, so anyhow we do during the project only. While styling the interiors, we do
Fair.
try to put in a lot of plants because they add like a lot of liveliness to the space.
Right.
So these are the main areas I would like to spend that on.
Interesting. So major money on art?
Major money because
And-
it would take a lot of money.
Yeah, it would,
Even
right?
with the upcoming art.
So that's like 50% of the budget
Yeah.
or maybe more
Yes.
goes in.
Yeah. And
And
then
then rest on the accessories that would area rug mats, area rugs, this and that, whatnot.
smaller mats, but mats with that too in the living area and the sofa set only. Bedroom carpets probably I can avoid in that kind of a budget. It won't fit in because visible accessories would do more
Right.
justice to the space.
One of the things that really matter and somehow forms our visual sight is the curtains.
Yes.
हमें आंखों में दिखते हैं, हम उन्हें नोटिस नहीं करते, लेकिन that is forming the frame of your entire room somehow. Like windows के ऊपर वो लगे हुए हैं, आपके sliders पे लगे हुए हैं, दरवाजों पे लगे हुए हैं, वो नजर जाती है, but हम we don't pay attention to it. We really don't notice कि कितनी dust है उसमें.
हाँ.
And that is forming the opinion of that entire
Correct.
person. Okay, interesting. देखा मैंने फिर ज्ञान देना शुरू कर दिया. जो लोग प्रोफेशनल्स होते हैं मैं डिजाइन करते हैं देख रहे हैं. This is one problem that I have with this. ये इतना ज्यादा जाता है कि वो निकल जाता है कभी-कभी.
No, but it's good. Like, this is the dialogue we exchange and we also.
No, I think it's a design philosophy. I'm also trying to develop within my own brain. Why are warm early tones making a comeback, especially after like a lot of years of gray?
But I think gray anyhow when gray came, I somehow feel it was there to exist for a few years only. Because gray, when you study color psychology also, na, gray आप ना जब आप gray से relate करते हो ना, you anyhow feel a little dull. But earthy tones, earthy का मतलब होता है you're relating it to nature. So whenever you are taking probably a stroll or a walk in a green area, in a area with a lot of landscape, a lot of where the earthy tones come from, you feel calm, you feel a lot of serenity in yourself. So that is why it's not something that's making a comeback. It was there to stay. While in the trend of grays also, earthy tones were there. They never, left the interior zone or space.
And in our day-to-day anxious lives,
we want a more calm and serene space.
Yes. Arches and curves are everywhere now.
Yes.
And let's say, come on, this is a comeback. पहले होते थे.
हाँ.
बीच में modern housing में
नहीं हो रहे थे because of over saturation of minimalism, there was nothing related to this.
Functional shift करोगे इसको या Instagram में trend लग रहा है मुझे.
हाँ, this is I believe more of a trend, but I think they add softness to the space.
I think it has to do with those images from Italy or Spain or somewhere also. वो जो facades में आपको दिखता है ना, they have those recessed windows and everything.
People are like traveling along.
Yeah.
So वहां से भी बहुत ज्यादा पता है क्या होता था पहले. If I am saying, if I am convincing my client,
तो भी exposure नहीं था.
सुनता नहीं था.
Right.
उनको आइडिया ही नहीं था.
हम जाते हैं खुद देखते हैं.
Yes. तो अब they will be relating it.
Right.
अच्छा हाँ ये उन्होंने बोला था, ये चिराग ने बोला था, ये वर्धा ने बोला था, देखो यहाँ पे भी यूज हुआ है, कितना अच्छा लग रहा है.
देखो यार उसमें ना मेरा एक ओपिनियन है. तुम कहोगे यार फिर याद है. मेरा ओपिनियन ये है उसमें कि जब तक ये सामने वाला एक्चुअली देख नहीं लेता, एक्सपीरियंस नहीं कर लेता ना, it will never answer.
Yes.
And that's I'm using the same philosophy with my daughter's career. Although she's only in class 2. तो मैं उसको बोल रहा हूँ कि let me expose you to some professions. Let me go and and take you to meet some architects. Let me go and introduce you to what an interior designer does. Let me go take you to meet a lawyer. I don't know anybody. And then she said, Mama, I want to be an artist. Okay, let me take you to an artist's home and see their studio and see if you actually enjoy it. So till the time she actually doesn't see it or just feel it for a moment, तो वो opinion नहीं बना पाएगी कि शेफ बनना है.
हाँ, correct.
कभी कुछ बनना है, कभी कुछ बनना है. बच्चों के हम भी ऐसे थे ना, like we were growing up. तो पायलट बनना था, किसी को कुछ बनना था, क्रिकेटर भी बनना था किसी को बीच में, राइट, आईपीएल खेलना था.
And it's like I feel it's like a really good thing.
Right, so you need to like expose yourself in a good way. Very interesting. Okay, those are matches. Which trend will survive the next decade, in your opinion, and which one we will laugh at in the next 10 years?
I think curves, like we talked
It will
about.
remain.
I think it will remain soft edges because it's giving your space, like those organic things are giving your space more, like वो edginess जो होती है ना वो खत्म हो रही है, तो उसकी वजह से जितने भी curves हैं, soft corners हैं, those are I think staying at least for a decade because they're allowing your space to feel more softer. So I'll say वो तो stay करने वाले हैं.
And which one will you laugh at after 10 years?
I think gold.
What do you mean gold? Color gold?
I think color gold.
Too much of
घर में use किया.
too much of both, right?
Do you think you're doing that too much?
I think
there
there
में some color with gold.
हाँ,
With some color with gold.
yes, too much.
Everywhere, right? I think there's that gold pinstriping going on or like some kind of a highlighting going on, but वो है कुछ ना कुछ.
Gold and I think probably wainscotings also. मतलब वो भी ना, I think I won't laugh at it, but I think it would die down in like probably a few more years because वो भी ना, it's like a cheap alternative also for some people you can say because a lot of people do के wainscoting करते हैं and then just painted the walls.
Do you think because of Vastu or Feng Shui or people are doing it?
It's just like because it's cheaper. As I said, for some people it adds to the space also, but it's like a reasonable alternative to what you do in PU or probably in fabric or any other thing.
PU or laminates?
PU,
Always.
yeah, always.
High maintenance. Isn't it?
But laminates then it's not a very finished product with the kind of joints and edges you get. So PU is the more finished
Color
product.
options and
Color options also.
The richness.
It is every time touch and feel.
Yeah.
But matte,
Yes.
not glossy.
Gloss करना है तो फिर laminate लगा देते हैं.
नहीं gloss में laminate we do not like glossy finish.
Okay. So then again, this is like a personal preference.
Personal preference because for my reason, मतलब I say मेरा reason क्या होता है कि मैंने भी put on a glossy surface ना, तो उसमें बहुत सारी चीजों के reflection दिखते हैं, तो उस मटेरियल का खुद का कोई अपना इम्पैक्ट नहीं होता. जैसे अब सपोज मेरा डोर है वो ग्लॉसी है, ठीक है, मैंने बहुत महंगा विनर लगाया है, लेकिन उसमें मैंने बहुत महंगी ग्लॉस पॉलिश करवाया. अब क्या हो रहा है, सामने से कोई आ रहा है उसका रिफ्लेक्शन दिख रहा है, सामने वाला कोई मटेरियल है उसका, तो उसका खुद का तो कोई इम्पैक्ट ही नहीं रहा ना.
So I'll tell you one of the experience. We had under one of our client. So every time when there was selection of products, colors and material, she was like, ये glossy कर, ये glossy कर, ये glossy मुझे करना, ये चिराग मुझे glossy. So ठीक है, मुझे वही बहस होती थी, मुझे मजा आता है. But at the end, I would like appreciate उन्होंने मेरी बात मानी, उन्होंने मैट करा. आपको पता है अब वो मुझे उन्होंने बताया उनका क्या एक्सपीरियंस है. जब वो मार्केट में कहीं जाती है ना, अब वो ग्लॉसी चीज ही नहीं खरीद.
Taste change हो गया. Because now she enjoys this one.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Preferences change हो गया. The experience. Very interesting. Multi-use spaces within homes.
Yeah. I
Multi-use
think
spaces overall are booming.
हाँ.
Do you think Indian homes will probably adapt to a work from home need? Just
I think मतलब it's not about adaptation, it's more about a need. क्योंकि आप देखोगे पोस्ट कोविड there's like 90% of the firms who have done work from home जो अब RTO दे रही है लोगों को but it's like a need kind of a need and kind of people have also sort of got comfortable जैसे supposedly I live in North Delhi I have to go to Gurgaon and my travel is 4 hours तो मेरे लिए भी ज्यादा comfortable to sit at my home and do the work so वो कहीं ना कहीं मतलब probably fully return to office नहीं हो रहे हैं. It's like probably a 3-day work from office and 3-day or 2-day work from home. So it's like the need of an hour. In fact, for the schools also, आजकल schools के लिए भी कितना convenient हो गया. Like probably there's too much rain, they say ठीक है आज घर से classes होगी. There's something else, they say घर से classes होगी. Too much pollution, they say घर से classes होगी. So we need to make spaces in such a manner because you know probably अगर मेरा घर ऐसा नहीं है जो एक transitional space है. And say suppose say I'm working in probably sitting in the center of the house and you know, I'm in the middle of a meeting, you know, my mom is coming saying something, someone else is coming, because I don't have proper space to do that. So I need that space.
So besides the work or study room, मेरे घर में हर bedroom में एक work table है.
हाँ.
Just because of this.
हाँ. So that you can say.
My wife, poor that, oh God, I love her, but वो बेचारी laptop लेके इधर घूमती रहती है सारे घर में काम को लेके. Sits anywhere, but she has a desk in each room.
So that's like your room is kind of a transition space.
She has to. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no way she can work. Okay, let's say if you design a workstation in the house, which also does not feel like a workstation. Any tips there?
I feel like at times there are like 2-3 options. Like we do combine workstation with kind of a dresser. So it's like a dresser and a workstation both. So it's kind of utilizing the space for both the things, and you're not creating two different. Because anyhow, for the dresser also you need a table, for the workstation also you need a table. So like probably those flappable dressers which act as a workstation, and when you want to get ready, the mirror opens up. And I also like I kind of enjoy those home office kind of a space like which have both kind of a setup. So you know that is something like a lot of people demand these days with the culture of tutors increasing a lot.
Yeah.
So people want like kind of a space, probably a smaller room with like a setup in which one person is across the table, so the tutor can sit, 2 kids can sit. So they need those kind of setups these days.
Very interesting. Yeah, you are expecting such a very interesting.
No, like this is one thing, like a lot of client demands. He just have a single child here, but they say while designing the study in their rooms, they say it should be at least 6 feet so that 2 people can accommodate. And I don't want my kid to study at the dining table because then बहुत disturbance होती है with grandparents, other people around the house. तो कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है. Somebody is moving around, so they are not able to focus. So they say कि I don't know how you manage the space, but we need at least a study table which can accommodate 2 people at a time.
Interesting. How do you balance wellness design and high-end luxury aspirations? Because everybody's into wellness, fitness. That's not just like a fashion now. I think everybody's like sort of opened up to the fact that we are not having we have to like sort of take care of ourselves. One of the things that you mentioned was having steam. Provision for steam within the washroom.
And that doesn't take much space also because your same cubicle can act as a steam cubicle also. You just need to design a good bench.
But with a lot of people working out at home.
Yeah.
Easy to create provisions for that.
Yeah, then again that comes the transitional spaces. Like probably you can design a smaller room, probably like a 8x9 or 8x10 kind of a room, which can cater to probably a home office also, a workout area also. Or probably you can design the balconies in such a manner the people who love to enjoy yoga and everything. So the apartments have good lighting and everything nowadays. So you can design accordingly a bigger balcony, probably a balcony at the back side which is giving natural light out there, and then you have space to do your yoga stuff and everything.
Interesting. Okay, now you're going to tell me your views on something and you're going to and please just don't say you agree with that if you don't. ठीक है, मैं जानता हूँ घर साथ जाना. But come on, if you don't agree, you don't agree, right? All right, open kitchens versus closed kitchens.
I say we have found a middle ground for that. So हम लोग क्या करते हैं? In fact, in the smallest space, we do provide that provisions. क्योंकि देखो आजकल ना with the culture of people hosting a lot of people, मतलब आजकल ये culture हो चुका है. In you know we have like proper catering services for 20 people also. So उस case में हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We design kitchen in 2 parts, like a hot kitchen and a cold kitchen. Cold kitchen usually have a big island. And you know, you just warm up your food. You have that island to provide some
It is basically show.
And
then the other one is the hot kitchen. जहाँ पे आपका
actually cooking हो रही है, it's closed and it's connected with your cold kitchen.
So the cold kitchen is to majorly to serve
serve, warm up your food, and if you know probably do some small things like आपको पानी लेना है, so we do give a fridge provision, we do give an induction if you just want to make tea or
So
coffee.
explain karo, this is within the same space?
Yeah, like it's like you have like probably like I see you have like 15 by 20 feet of area. So you take 15 by probably 10 into the cold kitchen, and then the back end of that is a hot kitchen.
Very interesting.
We'll have a door, pocket slider, or anything.
Openable door which connects both the areas.
You've done this in one of your recent
Yes.
projects?
Majorly. We try to do,
Which
other client convince we try to do in all of our projects.
homes, what should they feel like? Should they feel like a luxury hotel suite? Or do you think they should feel like, I don't know, they're already comfortable, square? What's like the vibe that you go for individually?
I think for me, it's like a balance between both things, but more inclined towards an old comfortable sweater
Okay.
with hints of good aesthetics to it, I'll say.
Hotel suite,
For me, hotels.
right?
Yes.
I mean, come on, aspiration भी कुछ होता है. You
And that's
make-
why I said like with hints of aesthetics to it. But I want to because I am staying because you know if I want to stay at a hotel, I can take a staycation for like a weekend. But then when I come back to home, it should feel like it.
Hmm.
It should be the correct balance with those good aesthetics and the comfort of my home.
मतलब जब होटल सुइट जैसा घर होता है ना तो फिर उसको फैलाने का मन नहीं करता.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's
But
when
I think the unorganized people do that still. I have done a lot of things because you know
next look at you when she said that.
next place ना स्टाइलिंग मैं करती हूँ तो उसके बाद जब मैं स्टाइलिंग लाइक ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ फोटोशूट हम स्टाइलिस्ट को भी लेके जाते हैं लाइक लेजिट वी आर फिक्सिंग द बेड शीट्स जो स्टाइलिस्ट और उसका हेल्पर होता है वो बेचारा ये कर रहा होता है ना लुकिंग एट यार इट्स ऑलरेडी 11 in the morning you called us at 11 o'clock and look at the condition of your house
That's right.
so you know because अभी जैसे आप एस्पिरेशन की बात करो तो 90% लोग prefer to do a high end house and the client of the kind of clients we deal with they usually prefer like good high end houses only but जब आप enter करते हैं it's all cluttered ना you feel like यार क्या फायदा it's not giving those aesthetical vibes when you enter the house.
आज मैंने ना अभी 2 दिन पहले I posted this project which has happened in Surat. So सूरत का जो municipal corporation है, they came up with a sports facility under the flyovers, and it's beautiful. Like, whoever's done the design job, they don't mention Anand Arcades. Yeah, they've done a great job. अब comment चलता क्या है कि यार pollution के अंदर कौन खेलेगा अंदर? How do we manage parking here? Okay, this is all gonna go in 5 years. लोग चुरा के चले जाएंगे. I get it. But कई बार ना वो दिल टूटता है ये सब देख के कि हाँ यार बात तो शायद सही है. You designed it, you built it, you've done it beautifully.
Correct. That is what my point is.
कैसे maintain होगा ये कोई करेगा भी इसको या नहीं? You know, you can create great spaces, but are they gonna last? That's a
And then I'll say like we have a few clients जिनका घर हमने 5 साल या 7 साल पहले भी डिजाइन करा था and when we go back to that place ना it's still so much everything is so
Same.
well maintained
Everything is same.
and people at times people coming to their house like since we told we prefer minimalism तो हमारा घर ना कभी बहुत overdone नहीं होता so we try to design spaces those are timeless तो उनके घर कोई आता है ना वो कहता नहीं यार आपका घर इतने पहले बना था एंड इनफैक्ट उनके घर में मतलब दे आर सच काइंड ऑफ पीपल घर में छोटा सा भी कुछ होता है ना सो दे कॉल अस एंड दे गेट इट फिक्स्ड इमीडिएटली
Okay.
और अगर आपके अंदर ये एटीट्यूड नहीं होता नहीं कीप ऑन लिविंग चलिए खराब हो गया एक दो चीजें और हो जाएंगी देन वी गेट इट फिक्स्ड सो दैट जस्ट कीप्स ऑन हैपनिंग एंड डाउन द लाइन इन 4-5 years it's in like a pretty bad state
What's your go-to color palette in the house when you do that?
earthy with like hints of color and textures but majorly it's earthy.
Any contrast to that opinion you have, or you enjoy the other colors as well?
I enjoy earthy colors, but sometimes a jazzy color in
Like a highlight?
yes.
Okay, like a highlighted wall or
Yes.
like a highlighted corner.
Any time of the day. I like.
Interesting. All right, what's the weirdest or the funniest request you ever received from us? Who will go first?
I think I would go first.
Go for it.
I have had a very weird request.
Please.
So one of my clients off lately, except तो उनका handover पे है, but she requested me कि मैम आप जैसे आजकल हम देखोगे बहुत ज़्यादा culture हो चुका है two basins with people
Yeah.
working together. So she said me my husband takes a lot of time मैम हम दो WCs नहीं लगा सकते क्या washroom में? And I was like मैम are you serious? वो ये क्या pretty serious अगर ये possible है तो मैंने कहा मैम कोई बात
Tell me you ended up doing that.
No, we didn't. I convinced her. और उनके husband was pretty embarrassed
Yeah.
कि नहीं नहीं तब मत बोल है और जैसे like आपने देखा ना आजकल वॉशरूम बहुत अच्छे डिजाइन होते हैं like we use a lot of glass and everything. सो अब वो उनका क्लाइंट जब पूरा हो गया ना, तो जैसे हमने ग्लास दिया, तो वी डिड लाइक अ काइंड ऑफ टिंटेड एंड सैंडविच ग्लास. तो वी वर लाइक कि ठीक है, बहुत कम दिखेगा इसमें से. तो कह रहे हैं कि मैम मैं चैन से बैठ भी नहीं सकता वॉशरूम के अंदर, ये बाहर तो देखती रहेगी मुझे. मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं, नो फ्रॉस्टिंग ऑन इट, डोंट वरी.
Awesome. You have another thing?
I had actually two.
Okay. Awesome. Do it.
ये वाली सारी बातें याद रहती है ना.
Yeah.
So there was one client. Actually मुझे लगता है कि उन्होंने बोलते हुए समझा नहीं इस चीज को. So they said we were talking about the cameras. तो they asked me क्या ये हमारा जो कैमरा है आपने चिराग हमारे मास्टर बेडरूम में नहीं लगाया. So I was like shit. इसका जो डिस्प्ले है वो आपके कॉमन एरिया में है, नहीं वो उल्टा कैमरा है क्या मास्टर.
Okay, you didn't realize. Let's think like that.
I think probably they had a small baby, so probably I don't know, they wanted that.
Baby wanted Yeah.
फिर भी समझाया कि नहीं, ये नहीं चाहिए हमें. We live in a joint family, we don't need it.
One more strange. थोड़ा सा बोलने में वो है. One of the client they asked, like we use health faucet for the WCs. They asked, can we connect geyser to this health faucet? I was like, no.
Then, sir, you won't be able to control the temperature here.
I said,
कर देते एक बार try. I think you should experiment on this.
No, then we recommended probably buy an electronic.
Yeah, you need like you need like
you see,
you need like that Japanese setup of
Yeah.
It's like a lot of
that is
comfort.
the only solution.
Many settings within it. Yeah. Oh, I experienced that in Vietnam in one of the hotels. By the way, that hotel was called the Gold something or the Gold Bedroom. Sara bathroom gold. The WC was gold, the wash basins were gold, the bathtub was gold, the shower heads were gold, the sanitary, everything was gold. And it was just amazing. And the moment we entered the room, I called up my brother-in-laws and everything, and आप लोग के रूम में कैसा है? And they're like, यार एक भैया बोलते हैं मेरा भी गोल्ड है, एक भैया बोलते हैं तुम्हारा गोल्ड है, मेरे तो white है सब कुछ. I was like, come on, you want to switch this room? I'm happier there than here. But it looked very weird. But yeah, that's what worked for the theme of the hotel. It was so cool. That had that WC with all the features, and it took me like a few minutes to
I
understand
understand.
how it happens and how it works.
But I'll suggest, I'll tell you, this is the best thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go for the featured one?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And then it's worth
Searching
your
on
money.
it. It's totally worth.
Very interesting. Japanese are the best.
Yeah.
I think when they come to India, there's this friend of mine who posted a story about the Indian toilet with a health faucet. And then, I don't know what she wrote in Japanese, but I never wanted to like translate it and understand what she said about it. We were like, to them, it's like, okay,
Yes.
very basic. It was the Indian WC that was there. Okay, do architects secretly hate it when clients bring Pinterest boards to them? What's your take on it? Let me ask them decorative versus like the styling or the
I usually मतलब देखो, अगर वो मुझे सिर्फ अपना विजन समझाने के लिए दिखा रहे हैं ना, तो then it's good. But if like we are in between of kind of finalizing the design and now they are showing me कि नहीं मैम ऐसा कर लेते हैं, नहीं मैम ऐसा कर लेते हैं, नहीं मैम ये कर लेते हैं. So लाइक ऐसे तो सर आप जब तक आपका घर लास्ट में जब हम बेडरूम की पैनलिंग भी कर रहे हैं ना, तब तक आपको ये दिखता रहेगा. This is something unstoppable. You need to understand it. And you need to make up your mind that what you want. It's okay to refer to that for an inspiration, but it's not okay to just pick it up and copy paste.
Do you think it should be banned? Pinterest?
I think
Kind of like,
probably banned. It should be like a paid subscription.
not free for all. Interesting.
Yeah.
This is the only solution.
But I think people will still pay, right? Yeah, rather than
Like,
listen to a professional opinion.
बहुत बार हाँ मतलब probably then they're not taking a professional opinion ना.
Yeah.
Those people not pay who are taking a professional opinion, they're taking a subscription also.
Fair, makes sense. Your take on Pinterest? Similar?
I hate it.
You hate Pinterest? Does it limit your, do you think it limits somebody's imagination, like if you go to Pinterest, or do you think it helps it?
I think it kind of limits because I remember while I was doing my internship, so I used to work with a very senior architect and I really admire him. and his work, and I have gained a lot of knowledge from him.
Okay.
So sir used to tell us, like, he was a graduate from CCA, and he used to tell, because उनके टाइम पे तो नहीं होता था ये सब. So he used to tell that he used to sketch every detail, design every smallest detail possible. क्योंकि उनके टाइम पे तो तब तो AutoCAD and all these tech was also not. They used to
Yeah.
hand do everything.
Yeah, it was the
So-
to do learn, like
Yeah.
to learn
So
technique.
it was like kind of कि they are actually using their brains. But अब जैसे हमारे टाइम पे it was kind of in between, because when we were in college वो तब आया like when we started our practices. So we kind of take inspiration. But अगर आप आजकल Gen Z की बात करो, उनको तो मतलब it's like कि Pinterest ही है उनके लिए सब कुछ.
And
Even in a lot of young people I see कि ठीक है हमें कुछ design, like during the time of we take interviews also, तो हम कहते हैं कि ठीक है you just take a basic inspiration and then you do something and make something out of it. So what they do, they wrap it to a picture and then they just draw it. So I'm like, what is your take on it?
They are not using their brain for that.
And with AI coming उनके लिए तो और बिल्कुल मुझे लग रहा है brain बिल्कुल ही वो हो जाएगा. Like
No, this is a research already done, by the way. There is a research out done by the Harvard University recently. They actually took specimen from students, and there was like a bunch of people they studied, and then they realized, okay, A grade students are not able to think logically after like 6 months of use. It's
True,
crazy.
that's true.
It's crazy how the cognitive functionality within the brain has dropped after using or being dependent on AI a lot. Heavily dependent, 6 months, and it's completely.
And I probably say that कि if I say someone from my team also ना कि ठीक है everything is banned, the internet is not working, do it on your own. They say नहीं मैम inspiration तो चाहिए, but I make it a point at my office कि अगर मेरे को कोई भी mood board बनवाना होता है ना, and I strictly say them कि अगर आप इसको लेकर आए हो ना, it should, like, you want to take inspiration, go take inspiration, but it not should be like a copy. सबने color भी same use करा, आपने सब कुछ, that should not be good.
You know what my biggest beef with Pinterest is? It shows you what it looks like, but it doesn't show you how it's done.
Yes.
And it doesn't show you what problems it will cause. Like.
Yes.
And it's like आप ना कुछ देख रहे हो, but आप ये एनालाइज नहीं कर रहे if it would suit to your space. जैसे बहुत बार क्या होता है कि क्लाइंट्स लेकर आता है, it's like probably a 15 by 20 room, और वो चाह रहे हैं कि उनको 12 by 15 के रूम में वो सिर्फ, that's not possible यार.
They don't
They need to understand that.
execute हो पाएगा या नहीं होगा.
Yeah, or doesn't even fit that schematic of the
Fit that schematic also, fit the budget also. So those things also needs to be worked on ना. कि अब आप कह रहे हो कि आपका budget तो है supposedly like probably 2 lakhs for the wall, but you're showing something that would cost you 15 lakhs for the wall.
But then your house also ends up looking like everyone else's, if you're using that.
हाँ,
वो भी तो
मतलब मैं, और I also say to my clients कि सर हम नहीं चाहते, जैसे आपने बोला ना Pinterest, so we do not want your house to look like a Pinterest board कि ये कमरा ऐसा, ये कमरा ऐसा.
same जैसे लगता है.
एक पूरे घर का एक सिंगल वाइब होना चाहिए, एक सिंगल डिजाइन स्कीम होना चाहिए. इट्स नॉट कि, और बहुत बड़े लोग ऐसे कहते हैं कि इसका कमरा ब्लैक बना दो, इसका कमरे में ये वाला कलर. आई थिंक ये probably you should add colors. I'm not saying no to colors, but एक जो basic earthy tone, मतलब एक जो basic neutral palette होता है ना, वो घर का same होना चाहिए. ऐसे नहीं कि आपका बेटा बोल रहा है कि ग्रे रूम बना दो, फिर आप बोल रहे हो ब्राउन रूम बना दो. So the neutral palette should at least be same on the entire house.
So fixed वाले panels चल रहे हैं. It's like a oval shape in the center, like a bar here and a bar there. It's like so common, like 2 or 3 of them, and then you get into the parts. हर घर में वो people have started वो paneling wall पे जो वो fashion में आ गया है, इधर grid paneling subject हर घर में.
हाँ, वो that space
Overdone.
molding, what I'm saying.
Molding, overdone everywhere. But
It would die.
But it will die. And थोड़े टाइम बाद हम बोलेंगे यार ज़्यादा हो रहा है. And I remember this time it used to be there on furniture, like furniture के ऊपर होता था वो molding.
But जैसे it's like
And the
again
last
you
bit
said,
होता था.
हाँ, जैसे again you said कि it's majorly the French and the European culture.
Yeah.
उनके पास अभी भी होता है, उनके यहाँ अभी भी होता है.
That's the schematic they follow.
हाँ, but वो उनका सब जगह होता है. It's not जैसे even if you see the architecture ना, जैसे आप skylines भी देखोगे ना, it's very मतलब सेम. जैसे आप यूरोप में अगर आप किसी ओल्ड टाउन में गए हो ना, तो उनकी पूरी स्काईलाइन सेम है. बट वहीं आप कहीं किसी न्यू टाउन में गए हो तो देन दे हैव
That's by
skyscrapers.
design. But
हाँ, that's
I
that
keep
thought.
mentioning the idea of Paris every time. So there was this one modern tower that came within the city of Paris, and I mentioned this on a previous episode as well. It's called Tower Montparnasse. It is a black tall tower in the middle of the city. People protested against it. They're like, okay, bring it down. After it was built, bring it down. Of course, you can't do that. It's a private undertaking. You can't do that. Now, because of that protest, every building which is a high-rise tower is outside city limits. So, Paris के अंदर कोई भी high-rise tower नहीं है except that one tower, and it's called Tower Montparnasse. It's a black tower, and people in Paris refer to it as the middle finger of Paris
हाँ.
because they hate it. So they've maintained that cultural or that look.
And
of
a
that
lot of countries,
city.
like we recently
It happens
visited,
in Europe a lot. Yeah.
like we recently visited Scotland also. So I couldn't see a single skyscraper in the entire skyline of Scotland. It was just like very outskirts of the city. There was no, everything was the local architecture that has been done there, each and every building.
One of the things I actually need to share with you guys as well. In a recent episode that we came out with Dr. A.K. Jain, he's the retired planning commissioner head of DDA. You remember? I don't know if you saw it. Like, if you've not seen it, please go for it. He said that when you go vertical, like it completely makes the city dysfunctional. So one of the best things about Delhi is that we maintain low rise and mid rise. अगर हम high rise चले जाएंगे, it just creates a ecosystem which is like going to be non-functional. मुंबई का जो हाल हो रहा है वो उसी वजह से हो रहा है.
Because you cannot get into the population density then. Like there was one young intern and he was very much into, like he's very pro London and excited, and he said कि मैम जैसे इतना प्रॉब्लम है रहने का और ये सब है तो यहाँ पे तो 4 floors allowed है. I'll ask if I would have to run the thing, then I'll probably pass another floors. Then I said, how would you cater to the population density? अभी 4 floors में there's so many people living, there's so much problem of parking and everything. अगर आप और बढ़ा दोगे तो लैंड स्पेस तो आपके पास उतना ही है ना नीचे वाला.
realize that high rise is not progress.
हाँ.
They think like the progressive cities वही है जो high rise build करनी है. New York,
आपकी
Chicago.
और concentrate होती जाएगी population.
And if you actually go
We
to
already have a lot of people.
if you go to it's not a properly functioning city. There are huge issues there. Yes. And even with those high rise towers, property prices scaling up and whatnot, so many people are like living outside, on the streets. It's just not a functional city at all. Water issues and whatnot. सब कुछ है आने वाला है, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं. Anyhow, coming back to what we were saying. One impractical design element that you guys completely don't enjoy. क्या देखिए मैं दिल्ली में. Anything. जैसा अच्छा लगता है, सब चलता है.
I mean, we are designers now. We don't design practical things.
You don't design it, but like you see them and you see an idea and you say, okay, क्यों है? Why is it? Anything.
I think probably, when people put shoe cabinets outside the house. So, that's like very practical because, आपके घर में बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे suppose and वो shoe cabinet के certain space में बन पाएगा. तो then what people end up doing is वो सब ना अपने shoes बाहर remove करने लग जाते हैं. And at the entrance of your house becomes a very big clutter.
But yeah, culturally भी कई लोग जूते घर में नहीं जाते.
हाँ मतलब होता है but either design it properly या do it properly, I don't know. But I have seen in a lot of spaces जो भी लोग बाहर ये शूरा का concept करते हैं ना उनका ultimate क्योंकि Indian people they are lazy also, not very organized. So वो क्या करते हैं कि वो उठा के shoe cabinet में तो अपने shoes रखते नहीं है, बाहर ही रह जाते हैं. It looks.
We're talking to one lazy person like that. But what's the solution for that? Then you think the shoe rack should be within the wardrobe?
Yeah, either people should probably. It's more about a person, not a design solution. I would say that you should divide what you are wearing daily because what the क्या होता है. Suppose I went like this is what I do. He doesn't do. I do personally. कि when I go for a party, I keep my party shoes inside the house. But my daily wear shoes, like what I'm taking to sites and whatever,
they're the ones outside.
They're the ones outside. But what he does is then he removes the shoes outside the house only, and then probably our house help is organizing it and keeping it. But then we have limited storage for that outside the house. Na? Only probably.
So all the shoes are outside.
Yeah, all majorly and all his shoes are outside.
Same.
So if
पहली चीज बता तू. Let me defend the man. I'll tell you. हमारे पास होते हैं 5 टाइप. तुम लोग के पास होते हैं 50 टाइप. That's the one difference.
Just keep probably 2 shoes, like my gym shoes and daily wear shoes are outside.
Okay, then by the way, you have too much to manage, so that's why you do that. We have 5 shoes to manage. We manage. That is one of the things that's different.
I think the same. She has like 2 shoes outside and rest inside. Papa also does the same. Only his shoes
she
are
just
all
wants to now target you. Okay, fine, great. Okay, the man's at fault. He's not sorry. We are not sorry.
He's not.
We are not sorry.
I surely do.
My wife complains every day, so I do it every day. And it depends. मेरे साथ होता है. So I want to see where my house slippers are. अब वो जहाँ है ना.
वही shoes आएंगे.
So I'm that crazy. But yeah, that is one challenge that I do see. Yes, I agree to it.
Other one, I would say when people are asking for vanities in common areas, like basins.
Yeah.
Outside the powder.
Oh.
Because what's
they are like we are not comfortable to just wash our hands and go in the washroom if you want to have a dinner or something.
Right.
They want a separate vanity
near the dining
near the
area.
dining table. So we are like,
Because वो daily use
this.
होता है and it's like a lot of spillage of water around it. So we try and accommodate. चाहे कितना भी space हो, like a small powder.
पहले बताओ बहुत कुछ
But
लोग
बहुत लोग अभी भी बोलते
अभी
हैं.
भी मांगते हैं. We usually
Try to convince them कि probably what we do is कि हम लोग powder में से design कर देते हैं which has like probably a glass partition to the cubicle.
It's
So then it's
hygienic also. It's not
हाँ.
we would like show you some design we designed for one of the client. हम we designed a powder washroom. उसमें basically क्या है कि that vanity is in the washroom as well as it is
separated from the WC.
Interesting. One of the things that I think I did, especially for the household maid, is that they bring in all the buckets within the rooms. वो रूम वाले वॉशरूम में जाएंगे वहां यूज करेंगे
No.
I moved it out. तो मैंने उनका वॉश बेसिन अच्छा सा बना के मतलब सुंदर सा अट्रैक्टिव सा वॉश बेसिन है with the tower wash basin. It's outside. There's a tap provision outside, so everything goes outside. So you're not allowed to take carry your buckets within the house anywhere. नहीं तो पाउडर रूम गंदा हो रहा है, वॉशरूम गंदा हो रहा है, और वो फिर बड़ा मेसी सा हो जाता है. If you're actually in the house and you're trying to function, तो वो बड़ा challenging सा है. So it's better to like keep that movement away. One thing that I think that was a sense that came to my mind. And then I'm like, okay, thank you for this.
Because she's using it daily, managing it daily, ना?
Yeah, she knows it. She lives on a ground floor. So one of the best things she also did was कि एक ना daily supply water आता है.
हाँ.
So she got a tap for the supply water within each bath.
Oh.
So there is that faucet that if she leaves it open, उसको पता चलता है पानी. And that water is fresh. She loves it. She's like यार गर्मियों में ना मजा ही आता है. Chilled एकदम ठंडा पानी आता है fresh. Only perk of being on a ground floor is वो पानी को नहीं सकता.
चढ़ता नहीं है.
So she's like she was smart enough when she designed that, and she's living in that house now, and I'm living in another one. But some basic desi hacks which were like no very useful. If you guys were not architects, then what would you be doing today?
I think बरोबर same answer होगा.
You will give it later.
Travel.
Yes.
What?
We love traveling.
We
Love it.
Probably we at least plan that let's do this now.
You do it now.
No.
Anything?
Like we do, like we are not very camera friendly, but we would have become because we love to travel. We love to experience new things. Like
Still do it. I'd say like if you like traveling, just
we मतलब हम लोग को इतना ज्यादा पसंद है.
and when we travel, it's like we like to experience local culture. It's not like it's just some travel. Like बहुत सारे Indians के लिए expect होता है when you travel, you just go have Indian food. You have like a set itinerary.
yeah.
Like मतलब हमारा ये रहता है कि like on a recent trip.
Don't out your family like that. I have a similar family. I know what you're talking about.
No,
दो चीजें
हमारा बहुत रहता है.
हम लोग इंडियन फूड बिल्कुल भी
We try
Yeah. That's the part of the story.
Like I'm a vegetarian, I find it a little difficult, but I try and ask them if you can make it vegetarian. I want to try it.
What a good vegetarian practice.
Yeah. So even if they don't have, I try to ask them. I'm not asking for something vegan. I'm just asking for something vegetarian. Just remove everything, and I really want to try the local taste of it.
Interesting.
We have one room when we are coming back. We book the other rooms.
हाँ मतलब we keep our travels like अभी हम वापस आए हैं हम परसों ही वापस आए हैं and we are already setting like this week we plan something for New Year.
Awesome. This is a great answer. Love it. If your dream home had a personality, I mean you said you're an introvert. So would your dream home be an introvert or an extrovert? And are you an introvert as well?
Ambivert, I say.
Okay, so what are your dream home personalities?
I think if we have to come on common ground,
yours.
I think introvert.
Right.
मैं आपको सच बताता हूँ मेरा ओपिनियन होगा नहीं.
That's true.
So मुझे कोई व्यू पॉइंट देने का ना कोई आप समझ रहे हो?
हाँ बिल्कुल.
कौन हो जाता?
100%.
Like I'll tell you, he likes to play PS. So like since मतलब आप parents live on the lower floor and we live on the upper floor, so he likes to play PS. तो मैंने इसको बोला कि रूम में तो नहीं खेल सकता. I'll get bored.
Yeah.
You cannot play in the room. So what we did, हमने एक separate पूरा like a home
PlayStation.
sort of
Very nice.
वहाँ पे अभी वहाँ पे भी नहीं खेल सकता. क्योंकि वहां पे अगर मुझे टीवी देखना है because that room is like a bigger TV and everything. If I have to watch, then I have to watch. You cannot play them also.
So now I have a terrace. नए वाले घर में. So what I've started doing is for the last 6 months, or maybe more than that, a year and a half, I've been trying to tell everybody in my family कि उस terrace पे एक room बन गया. और वो मेरा हो. Point the explain. No, कैसे मैं उसका तरीका बता रहा हूँ. I'm teaching the man here an idea. I'm feeding him an idea. So what I did was I took my wife to the terrace. Said no, यहाँ मेरा नीचे पाए. ऐसे यहाँ पर एक स्लाइडर आएगा because it's overlooking a green top. तो नीम के पेड़ का ऐसे पूरा वो दिखता है ग्रीन दिखेगा. यहाँ मेरा डबल डोर आएगा फ्रेंच डोर. इससे दो विंडोज आएंगे. दिस इज वेयर माय डेस्क इज गोइंग बी. ये सामने लाउंजर लगेगा. ये मेरा एक हाई बार स्टूल वाले दो यहाँ बार स्टूल लगेंगे जहाँ तो मैं बैठ के कभी कभी दे रही. और ये किचनेट है जहाँ कॉफी का मेरा सेटअप है. दैट्स इट. एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ रिकॉर्डिंग रूम. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ सोशलाइजिंग रूम. बट दिस इज मेजरली गोइंग टू बी माय. And then I took her out of this like imaginary French door. I said, ऐसे बंद होगा. And then I kept the चाबी. I did that in front of her. And then she said, क्या कर रहा? तू बना नहीं है कमरा. जैसे कि चाबी जेब में क्यों गई? So I said, till the time you don't get on board with this idea, ये रूम नहीं बना. You have to get on board with this idea that there is a man's den which is going to be created. If in 6 months, if in a year, if in 2 years, it will be done.
I was on board with the idea, but then the idea changed after getting it executed.
Yeah. So that's a weak idea. Now you know better. Awesome, guys. Okay, last question, all right? And please, you have to complete the sentence. A good home is one that.
That I will say reflects your personality.
I would say that is complete in all aspects. Because जब घर बनाते हैं ना तो जैसे मैंने पहले भी बताया था स्टार्टिंग में बहुत ज्यादा जोश होता है देन स्लोली ग्रेजुअली वो एक टास्क बन जाता है कि बस इसको कंप्लीट करना है, कैसे भी क्लाइंट डजंट लाइक अंडरस्टैंड कि सारी चीजें थोड़ी थोड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो वो लास्ट में जो स्टाइलिंग एंड एवरीथिंग दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट वो छोड़ देते हैं कि इसको बाद में करें, देख लेंगे. आई एवरी टाइम से सर अभी इस पे ओवर स्पेंड मत करिए, हमें घर पूरा कंप्लीट करना है. सो फॉर मी इट इज अ कंप्लीट एवरीथिंग इज इंपॉर्टेंट.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Chirag. Thank you, Vardha. मुझे तो बहुत मजा आया आज इस शनिवार की सुबह आपसे बात. I hope you also enjoyed talking to me.
Yeah, we totally enjoyed it. It was a fun conversation.
It was fantastic of you guys to come out. And I had been waiting for a light conversation. क्योंकि मेरे आप नोटिस कर रहे हैं पिछले 5-10 एपिसोड बड़े भारी गए हैं, बहुत सीरियस चले गए हैं. हम बीडीए कमिश्नर से मिले हैं, हम दिल्ली की प्लानिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. we're talking to like civil engineers talking about the right concrete and सब mix हो गया. So yeah, thank you for this awesome conversation. And yeah, this was Vardha and Chirag. And if you have any questions for them, please write to me at India's number one construction podcast @gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at India's number one construction podcast and message me there. If you have any queries and they have answers to it, you can get them back to you. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day.